Hello everybody, welcome to my EBMAS, Emin BOZTEPE martial arts system combat tape. There will be 3 tapes about, first tape about punching techniques, how we apply our fist techniques against all different type of punch attacks. Tape 2 is mainly about kicks and multiple attackers and combinations like Thai box, kickbox kicks, how we defend ourselves. And the third tape we will show you about tackling or shoot fighter type attacks, throws, and also in each tape we will show you Escrima, weapon system, and empty hands against weapon, weapons against weapon, and then transition to real like swords, gladiator swords, things like that. About my personal bit, I'm training in the martial arts since 1976. I did some taekwondo, Thai boxing, many years Turkish style wrestling, and Western boxing, but all this I have done to understand Wing Chun and Escrima very well, so to apply against all this type of attacks, since my past has been quite a little bit violent. I've been raised in Germany, lots of street fights, being a foreigner, or nightclubs, being bouncer for 2 years, and all what I cared in my whole life is how can I defend myself effective as possible, and also have a style which is scientific enough and doesn't need rely on age or flexibility or force, because I'm going to be one day very old and I will still be able to defend myself effectively, and therefore I use the concept of Wing Chun and Escrima weapon system, and that's what we're going to do today. Okay, in tape 1 I will explain you how we position our arms, our limbs to protect ourselves, to guard ourselves, and why we do it different than other styles. Like in boxing, they are very close, like here, or like karate style, sometimes here or here, or whatever, like, some Kungfu styles are like this. So you have to understand also the scientific background of the Wing Chun system. So the first logical thing you have to understand, or the thought you should have, or question you should ask yourself is, what do I want to protect? So in our case, it's from our big brain to our small brain. Anything in here, which are vital organs. We need this to protect. If we get attacked here, people can cause a blackout on us. Once I have a blackout knocked out, I cannot defend myself. If you break an arm or a leg, you're still conscious and you can protect you somehow. So now, once we know which area we want to protect, so we need to find the center. So to position our limbs there to equally to every side, to the front, to the left and right, have the same distance with our limbs to protect it. Now, for that we need geometrical measurements. Let's say to get to the center we need a vertical midline, in that sense to have 50% to divide left and right. So it would be here. And then we need a horizontal midline. So it divides exactly here. The cross point is our center point. From here an imaginary line goes straight forward. This is our center line. So once we have these 3 lines, we create 3 dimensions, right? So from left to right we have the width, from low to up we have the height, and from here is your depth. If we position our limbs like this, now you see we have the highest and lowest point, it's our height, from elbow to elbow is our width, and from fingertip to our elbow back is our depth. So you have a 3-dimensional protection shield. Okay, so time is the 4th dimension. The time we use if the opponent attacks, we move in. So we shorten the time of the impact, and said if I would stay here, the impact would be on my face or here. If I can have the contact with the opponent's punch here, it's too late for me to deflect it or move myself away from him, or use his force to move myself away from him. But if it's here, by me moving forward, I create pressure. So if he's stronger, my arm tries to intercept, he creates something like a spring type of effect. So my arm becomes very flexible, so I can borrow the opponent's force. So therefore time really makes me to get the impact much up here, so the sense of touch of my arms has time enough. It's a direct reflex to feel where the pressure of the attack goes. So in our system we don't care really about what type of attack he does. We care about angles. So it's a back fist like a diagonal angle, or circular hooks, or swing, or straight like a jab or a straight punch, or like a karate punch. It really doesn't matter, or Wing Chun punch. So there we have only these 3 types of angles: circular, diagonal and straight. So here I'm going to demonstrate you a little bit the Wing Chun punches. So Michael, can I have you? So very, very simple. If Michael would give me a straight attack, so I would not punch like this. Okay? Or I would not punch like a boxer, or maybe this side. So if he punches with the shoulder, I punch with the shoulder, what you see is mostly this one. I hit you, you hit me technique. Therefore you look sometimes very handsome. No, you cannot fight like this. The idea is, because Wing Chun has been created for the average person. You go back, the founders were two women. So they're not built strong, so they cannot afford to take a punch. So in my case, or Michael, we're professionals, so we train, but still, for the average person to have the chance relatively in his own environment where he every day goes out after work, he wants to protect in his own environment himself. So we're not teaching people to fight, let's say, Mr. Mike Tyson. But if he wants to do that, he must train every day, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon. So no break, different food, different schedule of his life, but then he's professional again. So this is really for the average person in his own environment to defend himself. He needs a very intelligent, very scientific, smart self-defense system. So if Mike would punch me, we keep our shoulders very straight, you see? So when you look at the general in boxing, your target is your face, your nose. If I punch, this is the longest, the jab is the longest weapon, but where's my face? If I really look here, this is the length I'm using, this part. But in Wing Chun, we punch, we use the whole arm. So if he gives me a jab, I move in, my arm is always longer. So compared to jab. If I put my shoulder in, just like boxing, well, you have a lot of the time this type of situation in boxing. Okay? So also our force and our punch comes from the elbow, which I will go a little bit later into it, how we get strong punches. So if you punch me just a normal punch, if I'm outdoor, my elbow low, it's a substitute for the triangle we have here. If you just leave your hand here, look, with the effect here, I split his force, deflect it here. Same as when I'm from outdoor, same position here. If I'm indoor, I lock my fist. Okay, or if he comes across, I lock my fist. I don't leave it bended, so otherwise he has a hole here. Then it looks like a Swiss cheese. You know, like the cheese with a hole? Just goes in here, all right? So really the idea is, each time, no matter I'm indoor or outdoor or diagonal, it's the same punch for you. It's the same punch. The point is now, since we're exercising, I have to stay still. So indoor, I must lock my fist so it cannot intercept. If I leave it here, you see what's happened? Outdoor, I must leave it low. But in action, if he punches in slow motion, I move in, look, by the time I affect this already cut, this angle with interception, with the force cuts him already. And then the time when I hit him, it's going to happen this. Look, it's the same momentum, very slow, you see? It's the same punch. If it comes diagonal, the same punch. Since I'm standing here and we just exercise a little bit, let's say I'm just outdoor, you see, I'm only crossing my punch. So the idea is really I'm doing the same punches. If I would do here and chain punch, you cross, same. See? So I'm not trying to punch his limbs. I don't care about his limbs. In our idea, this is a general in here. That guy wants to hurt me. This is the tool. This is the soldiers. So I don't want to start the punch like this. A lot of people do mistakes. They punch against the limbs. So when he comes, I really go in. I don't care about if he has a fist there or not. See? In this case, I'm outdoor. It could be I'm indoor. Then I lock in. Because I don't want to stay here so he doesn't get in here. Punches. See? So if I'm keep punching, if I'm outdoor slowly, so you see, now I have to lock. If Michael doesn't lock, so this means I can intercept totally. So therefore we just do it since we're posing here right now, not really fighting. Also what you learn once you have learned these punches is also to learn the balance forward and backward. So if I do this, you see? So this is very, very difficult. A lot of people just punch in the air. You need to do lots of hardening exercises where you can emphasize force. A lot of people do lots of aerobics, as I mentioned, they punch here, make steps. It's all fantastic. Drills are good to get a very good coordination. But more important is also put force. You have to deal with force, how you can absorb or deflect the force. And the last thing in any exercise we do here in our system is anger. Because a lot of martial artists don't practice that last issue was happening in the street is anger, because this is a component you cannot calculate. Even a small person is angry, you can knock out a very big person. If he has the willpower, the anger, you never know how big that anger is. So we try to put this in. Okay? The only thing we don't do is punching for real. So also to exercise this, later on we put our foot forward. It's the same thing. This is basically just control. Let's say he's a boxer and jabs me. I can control his legs. So I can control or cross the other way around. So just, no, it could be a kickboxer, not just a boxer. Maybe he wants to move in and do something. So I can be safe, he doesn't kick me. Or I'm here, it doesn't kick me. If you see a lot of martial artists, if you go in, and then bang, you see lots of these things that come with the knees. So this is also preventing us. We have the absolute control over our opponent. So if you just step with this, maybe it's better for angle. So you see? So I want to do this and hit him maybe, or just with a punch. Okay, so I can control him. If he wants to kick me here, I can see what he does or feel what he does. So all in Wing Chun has to do with sense of touch. It's very, very important. So what I'm going to let you do is to watch a little bit when Joe and Michael does this with the steps, just chain punches, no kicks. So just do together, just the punches first program. Okay. Start slowly and then go a little bit faster. So here you can see if he doesn't lock his elbow inside, so Michael rushes in. You guys just practice normally. Try your best. Okay. And if the force is too strong for Joe, he can switch around with his legs. Just angle. So you start to get flexible. So you balance to the left, to the side, to the front. You're stabilizing here. Just stay more in the middle. Yes. Another thing is, after this, you see how much he has to deal with the balance, going left, right. Okay? And the most important thing is you don't try to get here in the problem that to hit the guy's limbs. Always hit this computer, always hit his head. Okay, thank you. So another thing is force. Also, when we just do this, and let's say Michael is indoor, and he tries to really lock his elbow. So I use my elbow force. I'm very, very relaxed. If I punch, this is very soft here. It's all our force comes here. My fist is very soft. It's like a little bird here. You don't want to squeeze to death or don't let it go. Just keep it very relaxed. Also, when I punch, it's always here. It's not. We don't punch with the fist. Like in boxing, they punch with the fist. We punch with the elbow. If I leave it here and I push my elbow in, you see, the force comes from here. So we use 3 joints: our wrist, elbow, our shoulder. If you look at my shoulder, it's pulling even back. See? So it's not like this. So this would be a push. So by pulling my shoulder back, my joints are not going together, the bones. They're like hold it by tendons and muscle, very flexible. So look at how long my fist goes back and forth. So even I don't touch, and I'm not going to open my fingers. So I'm that far away from Mike. I will hit with the whole surface, the lower 3 bones, the whole fist. So I will still touch him. So, okay, if I'm that far away, this will be enough to break his nose. So this is just from the elbow, because it's stretching. Now we also use our spine. When we punch 3 times, we call this arrow punches. At the 3 punch, my spine goes up. If I keep my fist totally locked, without bending it, I'm just punching from my spine. Just this one. So you have to understand, when you step in, boom, this is in. So it's very explosive, very powerful. The biggest power source next to your elbow is your footwork. Because if a smaller person create a whole punch power by using, let's say somebody's 140 pounds and the opponent's 200. So they realistically have given the chance to knock somebody out. It's basically using your body weight to move in. If you look at in boxing, whatever we dance, the moment I stay and punch, my weight is still. So it's about 40 to 60% of the rotation where my body weight is behind the punch. If you look at karate, they do it with the hips. Very traditional, of course. But the modern karate is basically boxing. You know, kickboxing is American boxing. It's traditional karate mixed with let's say, Western boxing. It's kickboxing, but they don't do punch anymore like this. So they punch like boxing. But still, if you use your hip, it's maybe 20% of your body weight behind. So in Wing Chun, if you look where just Mike stands, look at my rear fit. So look where he says it's really 100% body weight, exactly where he used to stay. This 100%, this gives a smaller person, a woman, or nowadays, look, the profession of us changed. A lot of people are sitting in offices, more like a service type of jobs. The computer, they don't have the exercise like we used to have. Old days, people work in factories and, you know, like really construction. More and more people sit at homes and offices. So the physical thing changes and people don't have the time, maybe 2 times a week, for an hour and a half, 2 hours to exercise. Because they have family, they have other hobbies, whatever, traffic. To get from home to your job takes you about 12 hours, 10 hours. If you work 8 hours, 1 hour lunch break, you need 1 hour ride. In LA, you need 2 hours ride with traffic. So you have to understand the whole thing. So people have maybe maximum 3 times a week, mostly twice. Because they have other things. They have girlfriends or whatever, girls have boyfriends, whatever. So we have to think all these things. And this person wants to defend himself or herself. So very, very important to have a realistic time frame, a realistic system, scientific enough to make the physical abilities to use it to defend himself. So when I do the same thing, I'm going to be very easy. So when I step in here, or even halfway, it's enough power, boom, to make him go down. But if you do it explosive with 3 punches, it's very, very difficult. Also to deflect punches, we don't use blocks at all. Let's say even if Michael would block me, so if I do a single punch, maybe, okay, in very traditional karate, as an example. So it is okay, but again, here is prearranged. The sensei tells the student, give me number 1, I give you number 2. Mathematically, he would do number 3. The sensei would lose, but I cannot have it. Okay, I'm the sensei, I have the black belt guy. So I cannot lose the fight, right? He does the 1, I do 2, and then stop, hey, and then I win. Very traditional, I understand. Don't misunderstand, I don't want to put any other styles down. The idea to understand science, mathematics, kind of leverage, force, relation of force, all these things are very important. I respect all the other styles. But again, I'm concerned about my safety. I don't want to practice anything which brings me or my students in danger. Let's say I explain you 3 dimensions. Look, this is 1-dimensional. Just to left to the right, or up to the down, or down to up. So this means I open myself up, please punch my face technique. So I consciously cannot teach this to my student. You must understand it. This could be any style, you can put a name. I really don't care. You can, what I teach, put Emin BOZTEPE in front or call it whatever you want. Important is, for me, it's very important that my student gets the best so they can defend themselves, okay? So, and also we don't teach this for tournaments. So this is really for protection. So let's say if Mike would give me any type of an attack, he would not stay here and pose. So the person, a smaller person doesn't have the time, like we box and you jab me, I take that punch, I jab him, he takes that punch. How many punches you can take? If you're a professional boxer, you train to take punches. That's why again, right, you look like this. So in Wing Chun we don't. That's why our head is very far back. So we want him to come and step for me. Also strategy or tactics about distances, very, very important. So of course I'm not going to stay here and let him hit me. But I'm here. If he's far away, I can even afford this. He cannot attack me. So I want him to make the step for me. For Michael to attack me, he needs to step in. So his first step is a preparation, maybe for a jab or right, whatever. So if he steps first, my step is straight and attack. So he makes a step for me to intercept. I just say thank you very much. Now after that, let's imagine I'm smaller, so I must have much more technique and much better punches to overcome him. So if he comes in, so I have no other choice than to give machine gun punches, okay, or chain punches we call it. So just go in, because it's only 1 round. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we'll be right back with you and I'll show you some combinations, signal against uppercuts, hooks, all these type of or long fist kung fu, you know, like these type of things, and then we do combinations, and then we do a little bit more free, so you see how Wing Chun is applied to them. Okay, I show you just a few examples how you can train coordination, cardio, combination, speed, power. But this is few. We do this on a double-end ball, so your muscles adjust. You know, a lot of muscle memory is very, very important in fighting. So all coordinations. So here we just show you some stuff which gives you really cardio, gives you speed, gives you power, flexibility, and maneuvering your punches. You know, like when enemy or opponent doesn't stay still, he moves very fast. So you have to be capable to really catch up with him. So a good boxer is dancing a lot. So most people are too stiff and too single view oriented. So in Wing Chun we really don't care where he goes. So Giannis and Joe's going to just show a little bit slowly and go in and step, and then we show some with the focus mix as well. Well, enjoy it, huh? Thank you very much. So Michael, if I have you. So the same thing with the focus mitts. It's more for really maneuvering, go left, behind. So it's a little bit more speed. You start slowly out, and it's light punches. But the important is that you're very flexible with your footwork. Later on, I will explain a little bit more with the footwork. But now I want you to just focus on that he really has to go in a short range, very flexible. Later we use the same thing against multiple attackers. Okay, but I will go into this more in tape 2. So enjoy this one. Okay, thank you very much. So, as you can see how dangerous he might be with his hands, we also use, of course, our legs if it's a boxer or whatever, what type, Michael, type of an opponent you have. So, this is always the advantage again. So if he tries to punch me, I can kick him first, slow motion maybe, move in, or same thing again. See, all the way through. It's very dangerous. I don't want to be too explosive here. He comes. You can stop him here, or whatever combination. You just went right in there and attack him. All these I will show in tape 2 a little bit more intensively. So I mentioned something to you about sense of touch. So we have this special method which calls Chizao. Well, people say here it's sticky hands or whatever, like it's pressure. It's all about pressure. What's happened here is really, just imagine one riverbed and two rivers coming and colliding. So the one river, the stronger with the stronger pressure, doesn't immediately take the other one with him. What's happened really physically is when they collide, it's like a fountain, and then the stronger will overlap, but still the weaker one tries from underneath, much as he can, to push pressure. Doesn't immediately follow, right? So what's happening is here too, you see? If he punches, I punch, I not immediately give in. I still try to go in and intercept. Even he becomes stronger. You see what's happening is he's deforming my arm. It's all physics, all action of force. So if he moves in, moves, then he rotates me, see? But my pressure still wants to go. If he drops his fist, so if he does a little bit more fast, boom, so it continues. Okay, so it's all really physics again. The whole system is scientific. Everything I explain must be mathematically, scientifically explainable to you, otherwise it's not real Wing Chun. Right? There are lots of different Wing Chun styles. Let's say if he gives me a punch, some people have a solution. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is, you can say it's Wing Chun because the techniques look like. Okay, and also technique is not important for us. It's more the concept, how I apply my limbs to this situation. A lot of people have techniques. Let's say you see very traditional other style. They have a knife. Just get a knife, please, quick. I show you something and you understand a little bit better what I'm talking about. So people show you techniques, but technique, you should not rely too much on technique itself because technique could cost you life, right? Because it's a combination. Prearranged movements are techniques. So if Michael attacks me, let's say very traditional people like in Jiu-Jitsu show you something like this, bang, and then they go here, and he taps out. Well, the problem is if he does the same thing, maybe the student does this one. So you know, the technique doesn't work. Same again with a punch. If he punches, I do this, 1, 2, 3. This is terrible Wing Chun. But if he punches me, maybe I do this and he punches me second, maybe it looks like this, 1 against 1. It's better Wing Chun. But the best Wing Chun is, let's say he gives me a pak-sao we call and punches. If I have really nice pak-sao, look, in that moment I have one hand against 2 and punch him. This is the best Wing Chun you can have. If one hand can control 2 of your opponents. Very, very important. Or the same thing as people grab your wrist with both hands. And you see like in Taekwondo something, Hapkido, they raise their legs over, or people do this. Take 2 hands with one hand. You see, very simple. If somebody grabs you, you don't care. This is what you do. I want you to understand the simplicity of Wing Chun. Very direct, you don't really care. Or if he really holds me again with 2 hands, this means I actually, with one hand I have defended already both his hands. So I just have one free. Playing chess, right, you're always a step ahead. So I want you to understand what I mean by having one technique, another technique. Okay? It's combination. And lots of, like Jitundo, is all combinations play. They use the word concept a lot. But what does concept really mean? It's all science. You have to go with the science. So which is created. Anything after this is just a method. Methods may work, may not, but a system always works. There are internal, external systems. Look, when we do Chizal, it's quite internal. It's all Chizal movement. But I can use the same movement against external attacks. So when somebody comes in my school, they don't want to fight against chain punches. They don't want to fight against Wing Chun type attacks. They're afraid of against swings, headlocks, pulls, eye gouges, kicks. Very simple things people can do without martial arts. Hey, look, you're in a bar, you're drinking your beer, and somebody goes, hey, what is wrong? Boom, he gives you a headlock. He doesn't need any martial arts for that. This is what you do in school. Or say, oh yeah, you're talking to me, peng. Gives you straight kicks. Any old man, anybody can do that. So what I'm saying is this is the most fear people have. Right? Or just grab your hair. So, or grab your shirt. Things people don't need to train. And this is basically every human being out there. Could be an opponent. Could be extra dangerous to you. Grab you with anything without any prior training before. So this is what people come for. So we apply this. If he gets me in a headlock, I know how to do and defend it. Same concept. If he gives me a swing, it's the same technique. But if a swing becomes a headlock and pushes, so I go behind. So what? So you see, the exercise we do is the same, no matter holding or punching, grappling or kicking. The roundhouse kick or hook, like look at the swing, punch. Look, pang, 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 pang. Using the roundhouse kick, why should I change my concept? Why should I change my concept? So all this mixed fighting stuff, it's good, keeps you fit. But the point is, each time you have to change your concept of the approach. So if it's a kicker, I have to stay like this, or it's a puncher like this, if it's a grappler, I have to do this. A real fight is split second, so fast, you don't have time to change your concept. So you need a concept which goes all the way through. So that's why it becomes a system. Against your own or with your own style to support you, become better. And then mainly, the first thing should be always provide to defend you against external things, the everyday attacks out in the street. Once you master that, then you want to learn the art itself. Then you can go and do it against or with your art, not against your art. So, and one of these methods we call Chizal, as I mentioned, it's implanting reflexes. And the physics I explained with the riverbed, the pressure. So what's happened, so we have constant pressure here. Of course, in the beginning, the student learns how to position. And here, again, I apply the center line theory. Our center line theory with this one, the three dimensions. If you really look, our circle goes this way and this way. Tai Chi stuff, they have wonderful stuff too. They have, but they go like horizontal. So you have this part open. So Wing Chun goes vertical. Since I'm here, from here to every direction, from the center, it's the same distance. And then with the depth, I have this circle. So, and this is what I apply here. If you look at, depth, and I have the horizontal. So this really covers my trunk. So, and it's all about sensitivity. So this is not visual. It's a direct contact, a direct reflex. You mean your nerve system reacts immediately here. Doesn't it go, when you punch it through my eyes, I think you make about 16 decisions. And as you know, your right brain is responsive to your left side, vice versa, the other side. So you have to recognize the punch. Even you lift the fist, now you have to see, oh, is this a straight punch? Could be a swing, could be an uppercut, could be a diagonal. So for me, I can go boom, I can boom, I can go straight, or maybe I can go low. So the decision is split second. That's why visually you have very, very difficulty to defend that. So therefore our limbs are very up here. If I stay here or here, look, hey, let's say I want to hide in a nightclub or a restaurant. I don't want to look aggressive. Look, the guy pushed me maybe. So, hey, come on, leave me alone, man. I want to look passive. I want that the people, witnesses, also see, look, hey, this guy's not aggressive. He shows, I don't want to fight. But if the guy comes, I can do everything I want. He moves in, pushes out somebody, see? I can do whatever I want. So the same thing you learn here. So really, it's all about defending yourself on the street according to laws. We live in a civilized world. So we cannot just go and chain punch people like as you saw earlier. I just cannot go and beat somebody to death. That's not what we're teaching. We teach you also to control your anger too. Because this is, again, most thing. Anger is something, if this comes out, my God, take your legs in your hand and run. Okay? So you don't want to just be a monster and fighting people. You want to also learn to control. And again, here, it's all about sense of touch. Here we implant the person that he learns against the pressure. Remember the riverbed I explained here? He pushes, I push. So this is the first. As long as I don't step, it's open here and it moves in. As long as I don't intercept, and I move in, he doesn't need to turn. If I'm very strong, I can maybe turn him here, see? And then he can lock me down, ride it and attack me. Of course, I can get out here. I do things. See, once he learns a bunch of movements on sections, then we mix them like a puzzle. So he doesn't know anymore which technique is going to come. So basically, he really relies, once we have formed his body, that he understands to be flexible. You see, just exercise like this, huh? Or exercise like this, you see? Now he's really taking my force, he's borrowing my force. Now I borrow his force, you see? To be rotated. But actually what my limbs really want to do is attack him all the time. So a lot of Wing Chun people use the word passive. It's totally wrong. Look, passive is this, Michael do this, don't move. Now he's passive. I just punch him. This would be, they're not passive, they're absolutely active. But our defense movements are unconsciously because we implanted a reflex from moving 1 million times over and over under different pressure. Hard, soft, speed, we put everything on this. Okay, let's say Mike can give me very slowly in the beginning so I understand the movement. He can go fast, aggressive. Maybe he can hit me down with this and punch me with that. Boom! See, all this different type of version makes you more flexible. That's why it's very, very important. We always have the saying like the best teacher is pain. Because if the student mostly don't listen, he's always a smart, He knows everything better. So whatever you punch him one time, you will see how fast his guard is up there. Okay, if he doesn't listen. But second is what we call repetition. It is very important that you have to repeat a lot, but different type of repeating, not the same boring thing. Okay? And the third is me, because I know something against the pain. If you would listen to me first, it would make me the first best teacher. But since humans always put their brain in, I'm only 3, but I can live with that too. It's fine with me. Because end of the day, when you become an expert, say your teacher is very good because he gives you the skill and the understanding and the concept, you can help yourself. I honestly believe a good trainer or a teacher or a sifu is somebody has to give the tools to the student. And that's what a lot of people do. But the problem is they don't explain how to use the tools and how to apply it. Okay, so it's also very, very important to make the student understand what he has to do to succeed. Okay, this is a wrong ego of some teachers. And I'm not that type. I want my students all be in good shape because they're my living on 2 legs business cards. If they behave well, if they train and they move well, it's the best advertising I can have. Therefore, I care really honest about my students so that they become very good. And then share all this stuff. There is no such a thing as secret. The only secret is for you if you're lazy, because everything is a known secret to you. I can show you, but you're lazy, you will never get it. So it's a known secret for you, okay? So please train, okay? So now let's say here, Michael, we do a little bit cheese out. We start slowly, and he can try to attack whatever. You attack me. So when you do this later, I don't even need to look. I can. Okay, so you can see it really doesn't matter, and you see me very relaxed, flexible. I don't care what he does. This is what you want to achieve. But again, it looks easy, very difficult. Because exercise, exercise, exercise. Okay? Okay, well, I'm going to explain a little bit about the Escrima system or concept. So it's pretty much similar to what you heard in this tape about Wing Chun, because it's all about physics here, okay? And again, balance. And also what we have in the center line theory in Wing Chun, we have it called box theory in Escrima. It's like basically also we're covering that trunk here. So it's like a box. But from here, so what I do is I offline and use this box as my target for defensive and offensive, but generally all the time offensive. If I have Joe, if I have you here, so if we both are here in a fighting position, pre-fighting, we're both looking at the same frame. So if he would attack me, move in, I would just step out. So he's always in my frame, but I'm out of his frame. So just the same thing with the punch. If he would punch me in Wing Chun, so I would just basically see my center line is here, but I'm off of his force line. It's the same idea. But this is empty hand, so we can go on a straight line. Here you have weapon. Mostly weapon come from outside to inside. Of course, you have stabs and stuff like this. So generally, we have very simple, basic strikes compared to many other Filipino styles of weapon. Grandmaster Rene likes to use the word weapon system because it's transition to other weapons. It could be medieval, from Filipino to any type of weapon. So since his concept of applying his art is basically use everything possible as a weapon to defend yourself. Okay, we have simple from the center of your head to your shoulder. That angle would be a #1 strike. So just for training purposes. Same side, the other is a #2 strike. The angle like this, #1. Anything here. Lots of other Filipinos that go like they have 24 strikes or whatever. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You go like this. Of course, we don't care. Anything in that angle would be a #1. The other side is #2. From shoulder down to your hips is the #3, and from shoulder to the other side is the #4. This we call #5 is any step straight, and the reverse #1 or 2. Just the same thing, just reverse. So that's basically what it is. So rest you don't care about an inch higher or lower. It really doesn't matter. So this is what we try to protect. So this is the whole thing now. We do lots of shadow work, stuff like this, imaginary thing, just to get the feeling, lots of footwork. But I want to just show you some explosive stuff here. First, empty hands, and then with weapons. So systematically go in. So very simple. If you would hit me very slow motion, #1, boom. See, I would do this. I'm not trying to, to block these things. Generally not like this. I have seen lots of other styles that are blocked even like this. Even like this, it's so strong you couldn't even hold it. Too dangerous because of the speed and the weapon and the leverage of the weapon here. It's really ridiculous. Or some people really go like, and want to twist your arm, things like this. It's just too dangerous and it's not realistic. However, it's more realistic, just like the concept of bullfight. You have to avoid the force coming at you. You just step to the side. So if you would attack me, I would be here, crack. So again, it's intercepting. Somebody has a weapon, you want to take his space away. You cannot use it, especially as a stick. Knife is a little different story than the cutting edge. But also originally, historically, this is the size of a machete. This is a safe form of training instead of having a real machete. Because if you have a machete, you have to be really, really fast because you don't want to joke around. Anyway, general thing, if you see something blinking, knife or something, I suggest you take your legs in your hand and run. There's nothing to be bravery or cowardness. This is your life. And even the most stupid kid can kill you, stab you. Okay? And then generally people carry a knife. They're not going to pull it out like in the movie and say, hey, are you ready? Because they're going to just come from behind and stab you because they don't want to see you. You to see him as a knife or something, okay? So, however, so if he attacks, I show you something, you can go in and okay, or whatever, different angle. There we go, okay, you go in. Let's go straight in, whatever, so it depends on whatever. So because you have to understand all one thing. Even the attacker doesn't know what you as a defender going to do on him. So it's always both ways. Even you're afraid, you know he's very good or whatever, he has a weapon, it's scary. situations you're nervous, the situation is scary, but still even the attacker doesn't know what you're going to do. He doesn't know anything about you either, okay? Hey everybody, welcome to tape number 2. So in this tape we're going to go a lot of longer distance kicks. So before I go that far, I want you also to understand everything in EBMAS, Emin BOZTEPE martial arts system we do, we know what we talk about. So I don't want to criticize other styles as I mentioned earlier in the tape 1. It's about the attacks we may have to defend against ourselves. So this is important. So also against the kicks, you will see that my students understand and I understand about other type of attacks. So Yannis will perform a little bit for you guys different styles. I just put the names so you understand what type of attacks is easier, but really the style doesn't matter. So like capoeira, Thai, Muay Thai boxing, kickboxing, okay, like karate kicks. And then later on Michael will show typical Wing Chun kicks. They're less acrobatic, less flexible basically. Flexible in the sense of that you make splits. And then we go into application, show you how to use these things, okay? So enjoy it, Yannis. Okay, you will see Michael now doing very basic Wing Chun kicks. They're very straight, less acrobatic, but very effective, which we will demonstrate later in our application against the other type of kicks. Okay, please, Michael. Okay, let's go to the magnetic zone field I mentioned earlier. Here is about the relationship of distance and timing. And what we do is basically the distance, if somebody is a kicker and then you sense he's a kicker or he challenges you or whatever, or any type of bar fight, you don't know who the person is, maybe he has a knife, you want to go away, so look, hey man, come, keep your hands up here. You don't know. So he cannot reach me. If he wants to kick me, he needs again to do the step. The magnetic zone field is nothing else. If without a step, Yannis, can you kick me from there, from there? You see, so you cannot kick me, I'm safe, I can do all the funny things to move. You see, I don't care really. But what he needs to do is to step to kick me. When he steps, I step, boom, I'm already in here, you see? So I let him step. His first step is his very slow motion. If he steps, his first preparation step to come with his attack to kick me, you see? To get me right here. So most styles, we call them one-line fighters. So if you're here, he kicks me, and I go back, boom, I go and he goes back, or he lets the combination. So psychologically, if you go back, you train fear. Okay, we as Wing Chun people, we know already, we have fear. I'm already know, because somebody wants to attack me, say, hey man, so inside is like this. So what we want to make fear become positive energy. Attack the person. Just like a rat being cornered, there's no hole to escape for him, he jumps at your face. So this is what's happening here. So if he makes the step to kick me, I just step at the same time, I'm already in. So he makes the step for me, I'm not anymore here. Slow motion, if I don't move, this is his target, he will just get to his target, you see? But the same thing again, if he moves, I move. Okay, just like a magnet. So once, the longest weapon is his side kick probably, the stretched. So, and this is, to touch me or hurt me, he must stay there. So if you have that about here and you step, he kicks over there, just from there, he can never touch me. He needs at least a step on that line or in that line. If he steps in that line, and I'm here. so he has no chance to catch me, okay? So it's all about timing in this case, okay? In the distance you understood already, so he needs that distance to hit me. And my timing is, if he moves, I move. Not backward, I move forward, okay? So very, very simple. Of course, later on we have our hand techniques, but I'll show you two things. The best is, of course, your footwork. If it's very well trained and your chain punches. Let's say he gives me a roundhouse kick. If I'm here, I'm in. I don't care about that kick. So the last thing, if you're very lazy, he comes, I just kick him, boom! So I don't need to step, which is effective too. But the problem is you have to chase the person afterwards. Okay, so as you see, it's a step, then it's a kick. But also we have our hand technique, so we can mix it with the step together, which is actually very dangerous for the kicker. So the way he's going to drop is on his head. Of course, I'm not going to do it since I need Yannis still for future experiments. So if Yannis gives me the roundhouse kick, see he rolls right down here and I can nail him down and then go after him, chase him, all right? We do all three at slow motion again. So that's a very slow motion. I can just step in, as you see, just move in before he can get there. The second, if I'm too lazy, moves in, just kick his hips to prevent him from getting hurt. Or the last one is very easy with the hand technique, and you lift him. Okay, so very last one again. See, if you go look, you hit him down. Okay, so these are the things, and the same approach I have again, all type of kicks. As I said in tape 1 about angles, same as here. He gives me a roundhouse kick, just in the air. So he gives me a swing like a hook. You see this and a round kick? It's the same angle. He gives me a back fist, you see? Or he gives me a hook kick. So it's the same thing for me basically. Or like a hammer X kick, whatever it's called. That diagonal kick, X kick. See, I would just like a diagonal angle. Or a snap kick, which is like a jab, go straight forward, okay? So very important that you understand it's about angle, it's not about the attack itself. It really doesn't matter. So each of these techniques, let's say if he gives me a snap kick, I can stop him, move in, okay? Or if he kicks me, just by footwork, move in. Or I can use my hand still, and then move in, just move in and drop him down and go after him. So all these three, very simple. Depends on your capability executing your skill here, right? So how well you have trained your step. Most important thing is footwork. If you have no footwork, you become a target. And you know what people do to target? They shoot at targets, right? So you don't want to be a target. Even in later, if you train well, we don't stay like dummies here. So I'm moving, here comes, hey! Movement. So I use his tactics against him as well. So of course we don't jump like a boxer, but what we do is we approach it by tricking him, move in. Take his space away. Okay, remember earlier I said freedom of space? So here he can kick me, this is what, I don't know him. But if I trick him out and I'm here already, so he has very problems to kick me. Okay, so however, very slow motion against straight kicks. I can stop him, nail him down, move in. I can move out with my footwork. Okay, or I use my hand techniques as well. Just throw him down. Or the same as against spinning back kicks. Okay, if I'm very lazy, if he gives me spinning back kick, he turns his ass, you kick his ass. Simple as that. Or, does it again, I move in. I'm in. Footwork. Or last thing is again, your hand. If you can't, okay, or something we have like this. And maybe you kick from this side. Okay. Just move in. Okay, so these are simple movements with a distance. So of course later on lots of combinations. Let's say the guy maybe does a spinning back kick and let's say you just do this kick as he showed. Not the one here, the same leg. Because sometimes you don't know. You just don't know. And somebody like Yannis can kick very well, very flexible. It's again, you don't want to go in and let him do this. So this chance is the only one he has. You don't want to let him go up there. So if he tries to do that, you're in. If his space is gone, this is what's going to happen to him. Okay? So this one, or you have what you just saw, the snap kick, and then you did the spinning back kick. Yeah, see here, boom, I'm already in. So no space for him for the second one. So it's all about how can I apply your pressure on him, okay? So you see that the time, remember I explained with the hand, the same concept is here. So the time is me going in. As soon as he moves, I'm in and put pressure on him. So there are lots of combination, or the same thing is, you see lots of people, if you're around us, from the Muay Thai style, if he gives me a kick, you see them this kind of thing, so, ouch, a woman or a smaller man, somebody's untrained is going to break his shin and hurt. So we don't do this. So all, what in Wing Chun is scientific, and actually it's created by two women, as you know. It's about that these people, if they're physically not built well, can still use the skill, the techniques, according to the concept of the feet, strong kickers. So if he gives me a Muay Thai kick, he's kicking and moving. Okay, same thing again. You're in here. So in this case, very slow motion, doesn't really matter which side. He kicks me here, boom. These are the kick Michael showed before. Remember when he did this kick? Okay, the jab work he showed before is same thing if I'm here and he gives me like a Charlie horse, boom, boom, then I can do this. Very slow motion, boom. Because he has muscles here, doesn't hurt my shin. If he gives me, so because the space is not large enough to give a kick, that's why it's become, we call it jab work. From here I can kick you, you're moving. Same as second, if he gives me a Charlie horse here, I'm here. Very close, okay? So you understand all this movement, same thing like with hands. Later we call it chi gurk, like sticky hands, sticky legs. Okay, Emma, you have to wash them, otherwise they get sticky automatically. So you understand these things. Or if even I move in and he kicks me and gives a hook kick. Okay, let's say you trick me with this and then come with the hook. You see? Something like this. Really doesn't matter if I'm here. So I'm here, see? I can just move in. So if I miss his first kick, I just go straight in for his second kick and move in. Okay? So there are lots of stuff. It really doesn't matter. He gives me or sometimes we close, maybe he opens, wants to give me a kick in inside. First second, boom. Okay? Just with the same inside. Listen, huh? You go back from the inside, boom. Okay, just kick him, you get already pressure. Once you close up, what's happened when people like Thai kickboxers, they get pressured, they jump back. Want to open back to the distance to go their kicks. This doesn't matter, look, it's pressure here, same with the hand. If I have a pressure here, he drops his hand, I shoot. If he steps back, I kick. So the spring goes off. I want you to understand the same concept. As I mentioned again earlier, we don't change our concept. Nobody's punching or kicking. And then tape 3 I will show against throws, grappling, anti-grappling basically. It's the same concept. Okay? So what we're going to do now is show you a couple of combinations. So free that my students can perform a little bit. And you said that that's only Emin, also my student can move. Okay? Thank you. Okay, you will see some action stuff here. So Michael doesn't know what Jan is, how he's going to attack him. Could be a kicks combination with punches or kicks. Any type of style if you want so. Could be from Thai boxing, capoeira or whatever. So he's trying his luck on Michael, okay? Let's go. Okay, thank you. So you can see it really doesn't matter. I mean, any real fight doesn't look clean. In the dojo, in the gym, Chun, wherever you are, you're always safe. You can do nice techniques like Jan has performed earlier, it's beautiful. But hey, if you get kicked out, then nothing looks beautiful. You know, if you get somebody gets punched in his face, it looks ugly. Okay, the idea is that you don't want to look at that person get punched. You don't want to be that person get kicked. So it's very important that you understand how important it is for you to exercise realistically. But it's not, this is the end product. People have to train, they have to bring you step by step there. Now, I like videos very much, but still you need to go and practice, you need to sweat. Okay, books are very, very, very important too. But listen, it's all opinion of one person. But the important is that you are going and make that experience in a book or something become your own experience. This means you have to understand and you have to be able to apply it. If you just read and go and tell people about what the book means and try to explain it without you have really understood what it is, it's not the experience. Same as with videos. It's very, very important to see this, but hey, how can a video teach you sense of touch? But it's understandable. For you, it's very important to see visually how we move. So you have interest when you come and train. Very, very important, okay? So the next step is what we're going to do is a little bit multiple attackers. Let's say 2 or 3 people against one, kicks and punches. So the tactics and strategy are very, very important. Let's say if I have you 3 guys up here. So you see sometimes things like this. I mean, I explain I take one and all these things. There may be 3 guys, maybe here. So you see them all of a sudden, wow, he comes here, punches me, and he comes from here, hey, boom, boom, bang, and I'm like a movie star in the middle. I mean, this is not realistic. Because the same situation, if all 3 come at the same time, that's like kamikaze, okay? So I have to be really, well, I don't want to go back into Pearl Harbor, so forget it. So kamikaze, and then, no, it doesn't matter. So let's say if he does it, it just gives me a snap kick in here. I go here to block this guy. I'm already done. It's already gone. So you have two hands. The point is now, we in Wing Chun, we don't fight multiple attackers at the same time. I mean, even they're at the same time, but we single them out. Very, very slow motion. Let's say these people chambered me, so in front of me. So whatever, if the first comes, I always go to the outside. Look, bang, I can always use them as a shield, single them out. Boom, boom, boom. You come, boom, boom, boom. So you understand basically whatsoever. So whatever. So you understand. So it's very important that your footwork again. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, very important how you apply your footwork. So you have to be able and capable to maneuver your body very, very fast. Just like a war. Okay? So tactic is in Wing Chun building. My tactic is if he punches me, the pressure goes over here. So tactic is I go outside and hit him from here. Use his force. This is my tactic. But my strategy is something I don't know, but I have to be trained or ready for every situation. Like if 2 countries get in a war, they have time enough. It's the same thing if somebody challenges you. You have time enough to study maybe if you have videotapes, if you have some fights, whatsoever, you can get some background research. In 2 countries, they count their aeroplanes, count their tanks, their submarines, whatever, the missiles. So then they can say, okay, where is their station? So therefore they build up. But a fight in a nightclub or a bar, it happens immediately right there. That's what you have to deal with. So this means your environment, training, understanding about your environment, about your footwork, about tactics, strategy, about the distance, timing, everything has to be already there. So you have no choice. Same against single combat. This is right now and here. So you have no time to say, hey, okay, let me go back to call my seafood. Or let me see, who are you? Let me watch your video first. You don't have that time. Because this is somebody you don't know. Has a blue t-shirt, white shirt on, you don't care. Could be also a yellow shirt, who cares? But what I'm saying is, it's Mr. Nobody. You don't know what he knows, and he doesn't know what you know. So it's chances 50-50. If you train well, believe me, you will defeat him. You will win. So multiple attackers is more difficult. But we do the same concept. We single them out. Okay? So let's say whatever they can, you start with a kick, whatever. Let's go, whatever. So everything can happen what I just showed. I could fall in, I could kick, doesn't look that nice. But you could see I'm not always in the middle. I'm not trying to spread out 10 targets at the same time. Everything could happen. You fall down, this happens, how fast you can apply back, okay? Okay, I show you some Wing Chun kick combinations against these kind of kicks in slow motion. Let's say maybe Michael starts with a punch or whatever. I want to go in and he kicks me. We call the bongurk and then kick in here, move in. Or the same thing against, maybe he gives a round toss kick, pang, pang against his knee, move in. Maybe again this one, bam, bam. Okay, just move in and punch him. Or He gives me a snap kick here, just boom, move in. Here we use this side, sometimes not always the shin, because as I mentioned, if he kicks, you don't want to end up, ouch, right? So if he kicks me, just parry and move in. So combinations like this, or if he gives a slow spinning back kick, sometimes you can stop him, kick here, move in. Same thing against, he gives me a side kick, very high, move in here. So you see, you can go directly in, or a roundhouse kick, you can here, boom, defend and go in. So you can do these things with the hand and legs multiple at the same time, which other styles don't do. They either have punch or block or kick. So Wing Chun is simultaneous. This is one of the main characteristics in Wing Chun, right? Let's say he gives me a punch, I can do so defend, punch and kick at the same time. So this is what many styles can't do, and this gives you an advantage. Okay, and then of course you don't give him a second chance to counter-attack you. Let's say he gives me an attack, you move in, bring him down, whatever, and then go after him. Okay, so slowly, as you see, we cover the hand techniques, we cover the kicks. The next distance would be basically knee and elbows, and then we could go to the untied throw against like jiu-jitsu, grappling, any type, wrestling type of attacks, headlocks. This will be in tape 3 more and then on the ground, okay? So that's the same thing. He gives me a kick, maybe I do this, go in, maybe I missed, and he goes start with a knee. Same thing I can do again, okay? Depends on the distance, or he grabs my neck, like a Thai boxer, you see a lot, if he gives me a knee, a lot of people do this kind of things. So if I would be that person, he goes down with both hands, bang, thank you very much. So this is another thing, we don't want to open up our head, because this is the main thing you want to really protect. I mean, your whole trunk, but this is your computer. This is what makes a decision. So if he grabs my leg and he would, let's say, pulls me very strongly down, I cannot lift my leg to defend. So I would, boom, I would use my knee, or boom. I would never let go his elbows. For me, I can go wham, I can boom, elbow myself. Or later if he goes here like this, of course I can use these things again, or he gives me a circular knee, maybe like this, boom, 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 okay? I will do slowly. This is very difficult, you see, I can really hurt his knees, everything, very slowly. But if I do this, I do this, okay? Or the other way around, boom, 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 or the circular knee up here, bang, bang, bang. So I can do lots of combinations, and they're quite fast if you go fast. So boom, I can very aggressive, very fast do the whole combination. And they look not much acrobatic, but they're effective. So again, if he grabs me very tight, he gives me knees, I can go, okay, okay? Also our elbows are much different, so whatever, if he gives me an elbow, I can cut him in, just like the punches. Or he gives me an elbow from here, I can come in or give an elbow again. See, you can combine them all. This is your advantage in close quarter fights. And this is what you're going to use. Let's say he wants to get me in a headlock later. Maybe I can, you can use these things. That's the same for me. If he gives me a headlock or an elbow, the distance is almost the same. Okay, I can go kick him, okay, and bring him down, whatsoever. Okay, so here's some little exercises. I'll show you some footwork too, but first there's some exercises, as you can see on Yanis and Joe. They're doing the strengthening their muscles for Wing Chun, like a bong and jab girk, and later also for your kicks. If you see the angle, if you drop a bit more, this is the angle where you train your quad tricep, your whole body is there, so this is also our kick, thrust kick, or even our side kick. It all comes from the big muscle, and also they're training the side muscles. So it's a really good workout too, but it's mainly practice oriented. Any type of isometric forced power training, and we do always with the Wing Chun technique itself, because this helps at the same time to build up the muscle you need to execute these movements in a fight, right? So a lot of martial arts, they lift weights and things like this, but the punch against punches build up your shoulders, so I don't lift weights myself. I have no time for it, but people think, but I do everything physically. The punch against punches, this kind of exercise, it's in terms for Wing Chun, it makes us flexible and powerful, okay? So it's very more like an isometric, because in a fight situation you have to go longer terms pain through, and if you do like bodybuilding, there's a short times. very short and relaxed. So in a real fight, you tense, all the time. So this makes you also train your fighting power, because the pain goes through and then one wants to give up, but it can't. So it's a little challenge, always partner training. So maybe watch what they're doing here. They can switch legs to the other legs parallel, same side, maybe both left and right. Andere Fuß, one guy, yes. No, hey, one guy. Okay, good. See, just like this, so one pushes in, one out, see? And then later on it gets a little bit flexible, so you guys start the kick. Somebody kicks, you try not to kick back. So you really play under pressure, you see? Keep your balance and try not to wrestle too much with the hands, keep your balance. So you also, all of a sudden, you train each time somebody withdraws, gets kicked. So just a little bit, some kind of fighting, a little slower, a little bit more with power, not with speed. Just do it slower and a little bit more force. So you train really your muscles and the same movements. So it's always under isometrical force here, you see? Isometrics, that's it, you see? Slowly with power, so, and it makes you still flexible in our sense, okay? Our terms, flexible. So you keep your hands up. Not too much wrestling with the arms, just straight the force with the legs. You can switch around, you see? Just to train, it's good exercise for your legs again. Okay, thank you very much. So the next thing is, I like you to watch the bit when we step, also against kicks too. So a lot of people, either if you box, they're here. What's happening, your lower part is very open and unprotected. So let's say if you're a puncher, everybody can kick you, sweep you. So a lot of people, I don't understand why we in Wing Chun, in my Wing Chun, why we have 100% our weight here. Our front leg is not loose. Michael, if I could have you, please. See, my front leg would be totally loose and 100% like some kickboxing guys. If Michael would sweep my leg, the weight of my leg would bring me off balance and he could attack me. So there are two things we have to really understand. If somebody gives me a really speedful jab and punches, this means that moment he's also vulnerable while you're attacking, the way he attacks, because he leans in. So when you give me a thing, you cannot change directions. Because that moment he leans in, you cannot move if I can counter him. First. The second is, just like if you see we're talking, if he's off balance, hey, boom! If somebody's off balance, you're helpless too. So this is another vulnerable point for you. So balance is the key for everything, for explosiveness, for speed, timing, distance, power. So balance is A and O for Wing Chun and for Escrima. So that's why for any martial artist, if you're off balance, how can you fight? Now there are different ways of balance. We can be balanced here, we can be balanced here. This makes you feel your balance, but actually you cannot move. If I have weight here, how can I chase the guy? If I don't hurt him, bang, you see there, until I switch my weight to go, he's maybe not hurt or recovers, so I have a new opponent against. So the average person cannot afford that. If I'm a tournament fighter, it's a tournament, I know how to take punches, I can jump around, that's fine. Fantastic, nothing against it. But in real street, I don't want that guy comes after me the second time. This is what you have to really, really understand. Okay? So therefore we have no weight. And also we don't stay like this close, because if he gives me a roundhouse kick, understanding about timing, look, he can hurt me, I cannot hurt him. Now if he goes back again, okay, kick me again, don't move that leg from there. Now look, he hurts me, I can't. Now watch, I'm not moving my head, and he's not going to step. Look at this, I'm going back in my Now, he needs to do what to kick me here? He steps in, this means I can hit him. You understand about timing now? So that's why we don't stay like this. If he's there, I'm here. So why should I give him a target? My head is here, why should I give him 2 feet off target? And I'm here. So it doesn't make sense, and he cannot kick me anyway. Now, of course, a lot of people, maybe he makes a jump kick in here and gives me a snap kick. So we do not move. Maybe we go here over diagonal a little bit. Very slow. I do it wrong. This is really wrong. Because look, if I go straight in diagonal, I will run into it. Same thing if I would be a Thai boxer or boxer. My reaction for the knee blocks are too late. And again, how can I ask a woman or a weaker man to do a block with a shin? He's going to feel pain, just grumble, and then the guy's going to kick his face probably. So therefore, if he gives me that kick, so our steps, if you can see here, it's a circle in here. So if he kicks me, it's like a wedge.
Same kick, same leg. I don't care. See, I let him pass and he runs right into this. Okay. Same thing as if he gives me he's going to give me for now 5 kicks. Look, he gives me a cross kick diagonal over here. Bang. He gives me a straight kick, parallel. He gives me a snap kick. Same for 3 times. Now look, he gives me a cross kick over here. I still don't use the same. My circle protects me. You see, he cannot kick here. He gives me a straight kick here. Look. And it's not a block. I'm pitching him off, I intercept. So if you really look, if he gives me a cross punch here, look this. You remember in the first tape, and he gives me a cross kick same time. Same concept. Again, you don't need to change your concept. So if he gives me a straight kick here and a straight punch here, same concept. Okay? So it's the same concept again. So if he gives me a cross kick here and a punch there, look at the same. Can you see the parallelity now? It's the same thing, does not change. So if he gives me a straight kick here, look, it's the same here. So you really use the same concept with the hands and the legs. And later on in tape 3, you will see we use the same concept on the ground against throws, or if you're on top or underneath the person. For Wing Chun, really doesn't matter where. And I personally created anti-grappling according to the concept, so I contribute a lot for the development of Wing Chun. Wing Chun was not the same 300 years ago when Mui and Yin Wing Chun created it, and all the way to Dr. Leung Jan and to Grandmaster Yip Man till today. So everybody did their contribution that Wing Chun is scientific, and science doesn't stay still. It's always develops more and more, and time of street fight has changed if you get attacked in the street. When I use a street fight, we don't teach people street fight. There are lots of people that use title street fighter, killer instinct. We don't teach people how to street fight, we don't teach people killer instinct. Why? Because I don't want any of my to get a killer instinct and kill people. I don't want anybody who goes in the street and fights street fight. I want people to realistically defend themselves, or realistic self-protection, if you want to call it like that. It's very, very understand the importance for an instructor, how he represent himself. For me, it's very, very important that everyone, even you as the audience, listen, and my student understand exactly what I'm trying to do here. It's about really helping that average person to protect themselves. I don't want to create a rumble out of that guy and goes violent and then does the killer instinct stuff. Okay? It's very, very important. It's about the average person. He does not have time to train whatever, like boxing. He needs to jump ropes and he needs stretching for kickboxing, and he doesn't train the technique so much. Okay, or he gets attacked in different variations. Wing Chun is the absolute system, complete system, and Escrima is a complete weapon system. So this is what we teach. Okay, so I want you to understand. So later on you will see Escrima as well, and you will see the concepts are identical. They're all based on physics of nature. So what Wing Chun is Taoism. Taoism stands for balance, right? You hear all this word yin and yang. So what is yin and yang? Look, hey. In this movement, Bongzhou is yin and yang. My pressure forward is yang, but that I can give in the same time is yin. So mix, right? Or same thing, look, big yin, big yang. or my fist, look, very relaxed. You can say it's yin. But if I hit, what's going to happen? The explosion here on his head is going to be yang. So you understand what yin and yang physically has to do with martial arts. A lot of people think or meditation, they're sitting on a hill and go boom, 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 and this is has to do. What does it do with martial arts? You have to understand, I mean, anything is focused and concentrated is meditation. Anything you do intensively, even while I'm speaking to you right now, is for me absolute fulfilling. I'm happy because I'm focused on one point. Because I'm trying to teach you something or give you an idea. I hope to help you. So this is for me, it's absolute meditation because I'm happy with it. You see, any type of concentration is really meditation. Anything you love and you do intensively, makes you happy while you're doing it, the time you're doing it, this is nothing else than meditation for you, okay? So because you feel relief. And also martial arts for me now is different. The fighting has changed. I mean, if you really look at that, like 25 years ago, there was barely judo guys, or what is normal, you know, like boxing or something in this country, in the United States, or in Europe. Judo was like popular, but wasn't not for the street. People did it in the dojos. But in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s was kickboxing. People kicking. Mid 70s, like you know, all like a legend like Chuck Norris or Bruce Lee, one of the first not inventors, but one of the person that started the full contact tournament type of thing with the gears. Look, they started to get more and more real, so people outside of martial arts start to see it through the movies and stuff. Hey, and then adapt, but needed 25 years. Every kid out there know how to make a roundhouse kick now without training. People do breakdancing, they know how to kick. People punches, the movie industry, everything, so the fighting has changed. You know, in the mid-70s was very traditional karate. Kickboxing, the American type of karate, the modern kickboxing was the early 80s, late 80s, and then late 80s and then early 90s really was Muay Thai boxing, Thai kick, really tough kicks, hardcore. And then early 90s till now was jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling. So the type of the martial arts and the fighting, the enemy or the opponent you're facing changed. So Wing Chun is scientific, it adapted always. So we have to go by time. And 300 years ago, well, and in Hong Kong, they fight like hui and hai, right? All this, you saw the classic 70, after Bruce Lee, all the Kung Fu movies come out. See, they were all very, very fantasy, right? Animal imitating. So who fights like that? But there must be maybe 300 years ago like this, I don't know. But now people get more real, people train harder, so the average person out there, I said they don't have the time, but also there's lots of kids out there that are still fit. You know, the bullies are fit. So they get the wrong impression from the movie industry or whatever, and they go in and start trouble. Maybe. You know, I don't want to criticize the movie industry all the time, but things affect us. Everything affects. What I'm saying here affects you people. So I want you to understand, I don't want to be a negative issue, I want to be a realistic issue here. I want to open your eyes and say, look, hey, this is what is real, this is functional, and this works for you. But please don't misuse it. It's always, all these martial arts, they were developed also for training your character, forming your character, become or turn into a better human being. Be more friendly. Look, I can smash everybody, I can hurt people, but now this means I can afford to be very friendly now because I'm confident, right? So I want you to understand this is a perspective the way I like to see it. Okay, so I don't need to be tough. So if the necessary step is there and then the situation is there, I can prove I'm tough. So why should I do it before? I want you to understand this approach I'm trying to give you here. So all this is something with philosophy to do. All this is yin and yang. And then the concept in Wing Chun, I said, is Taoism, is physics of nature, balance. So that's what you see here. When, if you see, look, everything, remember the circle, the center line I explained? So I have here bongsa, we call something half under, half up. Our center line, if you look at the center line, the same distance is above the center line and same distance. It's always 50-50, always yin and yang. If I do a ganzao, now I have to take my whole arm. Center line, look, half of mine is up, half. If I take both hands, look, 50-50. The center line will go through here, half up. Look, half up. So yin and yang is always there physically. Many martial arts sites cannot explain this. They say, well, woman, man, air, water, whatever. They try and then, what you try to tell me? So I want you to understand what this has to do physically, especially in Wing Chun you can see it. Okay, and this means balance. And this is what I said earlier. Balance is the key to success. In fighting, in real life, love life, relationship, business, you have to be balanced. If you're not balanced, you cannot reach anything. So you're distracted everywhere. Okay, you have to fight, and fighting for your balance, you're distracted, you're not connected with your opponent. In business life, you're distracted, you're not focused, people steal your money. In love life, you lose your person you really want to be sharing your life because you're distracted. You're very confused. So I want you to understand how important it is outside of martial arts generally. Balance is really, really important. There are lots of these things, or maybe you take a knife. So maybe he has his knife and then comes. Now it's very, very dangerous, so I don't want to do this kind of thing. You're behind, in front of the weapon, try to twist his arm all over across your body. People do this, or again step. They go here and then they bring the knife all over front of your face, or maybe here. Look, I don't want to do this. There are lots of styles. There's sometimes which are like Shining, the movie. Now see, this is very, very funny because even he stops my hand, I cut him. Okay, it's very, very just a little change of an angle. No matter how good it is, and Joe is a very fast person. Try to catch my hand. Just a little change of an angle. And I don't need to be even fast. So even see, I just need to pull. Okay, no playing pianos anymore. So very, very dangerous. Even here, very important that you guard your vital organs. Because this is a cutting weapon, is a blade. Hey man, if you see that if you can run away, run away. If you're cornered, you can't. You have to fight back. If he really attacks you, if you want to step, you have no choice. But still, use your limbs. It's better you get cut here than being stepped somewhere here. So in front of your body. Okay, don't play a movie star or something. So I usually always like whatever he tried to step, boom. Everything you do is direct hit. So don't try to go for the weapon only. Ask him, this is wrong what I'm showing you. Because he has a second hand. And he can go, okay? So if he comes in, whatever. So maybe something like that or whatever. So you alright? Okay, so even he pulls back, you can maybe be here, okay? Whatever. So, okay, maybe you're here, right? So you can fight back. Now you have more chance, but still. What I teach also lots of police officers. When you get in this kind of thing, somebody has a weapon, you have to wrestle for the weapon, is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. The best thing is you can knock him out before that. This is really, really difficult. Once you're on the floor and wrestle with the guy for his weapon, it's very, very dangerous for yourself too. So whatever, so maybe, okay, whatever. Okay, cool. So there are lots of things. Or maybe get something else. Give me a stick and get you a knife. Okay. So this is change the situation. Now I have a stick, longer reach. Here's a knife. I'll show you both versions, but don't get the wrong idea. Okay, I don't want you guys to take a knife with you and then experiment around. It's just could be an umbrella. Let's say I go walk on the street. I have my umbrella with me, and then somebody pulls a knife onto my purse or whatever. Okay. So even I'm here, straightforward. So I don't care. It's not like style shows you like this, hang, then they want to twist your arm and disarm you, or comes here, hang, and then do this kind of things. Remember again, he has always one hand. Okay, so I really don't care if he has his knife in his hand. Whatever it comes. Okay. So just hit him. Everywhere you hear this nice sound. Can you hear the microphone? Everywhere is a bone. I don't care about his flesh. This gives him a bruise. But everything is a bone. Smack is broken. He loses the weapon. Okay? Generally also, this part is very dangerous with some object like this. You can break, you can kill somebody very easy. This is very dangerous. I want to address this as well. So therefore, if you see, well, if he has a knife, he's after my life, is something else. Again, you need witnesses so you can prove that, okay? We're teaching real self-defense to protect yourself. So it's not a, we also have tournament, which later on I'll show you like a sparring, how this looks like. Okay, so the same thing, of course. If I would carry the knife and somebody has a weapon, I mean, it's a weapon system, I want to show you that, but I don't suggest you carry a knife and run around with it and try to, okay? Because when you have a knife and you pull it, you will use it. And it's probably going to kill somebody maybe. Then you're in trouble, okay? But still, it's a weapon system. I just want to show that we can do things. Even he has a longer weapon than I attacks him. Careful, the kicks. Straight in, thank you very much. Okay, so it's just a little bit short for you, but that's dangerous, see? Just cut, cut, step. So easy to step somebody, it's very, very dangerous. You can see it, whatever. Because you do slide one, the next is a step. Whatever it does, maybe slow motion, couple of things. Punch, crack. Just slow motion, just keep moving, slow motion. Crack, crack, crack. I don't care, wham. So just straight in, who cares? Okay, good. So if you give me a stick as well. Yeah, I'm gonna take my acne stick. You can have yours if you want. So there's another thing, this is a message for you. He needs his stick to attack. In reality, if you get any weapon, any object, you have no chance or choice to say, hey, I don't like this weapon, I want something else. You have to be capable to transist to any type of weapon, any type of tool. Could be a stone in your hand, could be a newspaper, could be a plastic bottle, could be a real bottle, whatever. You have to be capable of using it in Escrima. Okay, when we're here, you attack me, whatever. See, I'm not even really blocking, so I'm using the offline. I stopped him before, crack. My weapon is too slow, he hits me. Maybe you hear this one, crack. But I still continue, so it's not a block. You see a lot of different styles there. Hit, go back. Okay, so they do something like this, but we don't care. It's real reality. So he wants to attack me, he wants to hurt me. I better hurt him before he hurt me. Okay. That's a nice sound. So here I was late, very slow motion. You could see I was hitting a number one, I was late. Also hit my stick. I continue, crack, you see? I don't stop my attack. So it's like an attack is being hindered, stop, but boom, after it's being released. So give me some, whatever, double-handed, nice heavy strikes. Okay. So sometimes if you go serious, I just move in. If he opens up like this, I'm in. Okay? So the way we also strike, I want you to understand where the force of the strike comes. You see, lots of people swing. Or some people go abanico, like from the wrist. It's all what you get. Okay, so we hit lots of the body and more circular movement. Very short when I'm ready. But if I swing my stick, I'm here, so or I miss him. Wow, but if I hit him, he takes the stick away, and I miss it. And I'm ready again. And if I hit, it's much harder than the swing or the wrist movement, you see? So, or like the cutting movements I do. It's very boof. I'm ready again. My weapon is up, I'm protected. Okay, just if you watch his body line, you see how the whole, my power with my body weight when I sink it, how it shakes here. You're very short and I'm ready again. Okay? So very, very important. You can also, can you hold me stronger? Multiple strikes. If I swing, I cannot do multiple strikes. So when I'm here, I can do a few more. So I'm always ready. So no matter what, even I miss to take the sticks away, take it away when I come. But I'm always there, hitting it. So you never get a chance, just like chain punching, you get the next move onto me. So I'm always on top of him. The idea with the demobilizing movements in WT is to be for like a police or security person to be safe let's say a police officer, mostly is armed. So let's say I find the suspect and he wants to handcuff me with his jiu-jitsu, I just then take this gun and blow his head off. So that's why jiu-jitsu kind of stuff. And you say jiu-jitsu stuff like they're nice arts for themselves, but you have to see what is safe for your own if you use it. So mostly if you, whatever, headlock or whatever he wants to do to lock your arms, you always have one arm free. It's the first thing we was considering when we created this stuff. So the one is using the anti-mobilizing movement should be protected. So if somebody attacks me or something, I always control it, always weapons, so you can't hit me. Let's say if I'm a bouncer here, the way I do it so you can't hit me, I can just let go. This is fine. I just take him out, or if you put it down. So the way we have in the irtibat, so in top position, the pressure between our legs, I use it here. So I can control it with my legs. One hand, so I can take my gun if it's too strong. Or take my okay, just can take my hand. So even not like this, you see? So it's not easy for him to move. You don't see this? Well, there's no such a way to control somebody without having the right pressure points. What we do is like this, I bend his neck so he has difficulties to breathe and his ribs through the pressure and what you learn in student power. Okay, so we have different things can happen if we, well, let's say, he attacks me like a hook or something, but just same way, just without punching. Can you attack? So I have my hands always free, see? Whatever he does, he can kick me. Hey, don't play Monica, I'm not playing. So, let's say somebody wants to just grab your waist. Very soft. You have these things. It's all movements from the whatever higher levels or lower levels. Squeeze out. So I can still punch him. But if he crashes in, you absorb the force by letting him pass. You see, let him pass you, and just go one more. Can you give me an elbow? But the important thing is, when you attack me, he could never reach really my gun because I'm out of his reaching area. See, his hands can never go to my belt. Okay. So this is what we do. Whatever. Attack. Like this. Control. Okay, what I basically do is like 5 movements straight. Becomes what we call amok. So this guy is drunk, it's your father, brother, or some drunk guy. Just very uncontrolled. So you don't want to do this. Like this, and he gets his hand in your face. That's why we also, what's important, teach how to close the gap in a very fast time. Go ahead. Okay, try and wrestle. Very, very easy. So my hand is always free. But you always can hit, but you don't. So that's why we call immobilizing movement. Just immobilize them. That's basically what it is. Against swings, against bear hugs, against what's a very, very forceful jump in, bear cutting. Even with one hand, you see, you're always safe. Always control it. So the way I do it is basically you can't breathe much, so you don't punch it. So you have difficulty to move. Each time you move it, you can see it on him. Okay, so that's basically what we do. What we in Chun believe is a magnetic zone field. So everybody has a personal, individual magnetic zone, which depends on the distance. Let's say if somebody wants to kick you, the longest weapon is probably the side kick. The most stretch, the longest weapon. Punch is probably the boxing jab. It's the longest. So let's say he gives me a side kick. So when he needs to come at least there to kick me and to hurt me maybe a little closer, so like this. Okay? So if he jumps around out of this area and kicks around there, so I'm quite relaxed because you can't really hurt me or bring me in any trouble. If you kick there, so it doesn't care, I can stay the way I want. So if it comes closer and I get a little bit funny, I have my just closer. Do you speak English? Okay, just prepare. But no matter what he does, if you understand the footwork and Wing Chun with the pressure and all the stuff, we talked a little bit, or I explained a little bit earlier on. So the position of Wing Chun, basically, I explained, if you don't have the pressure together, just you turn up your hip. It's basically nothing else than like this. This is what's happening, right? So you just squeeze your knees, and your lower part of your body is tense all the time, in a relaxed way. So if you later on start to feel shaky, relaxed, it's perfect. So what's meant, the lower part is like a bow is ready to shoot. It's already extended and waiting. The upper part is very relaxed. No matter what he tries to do, so you're already ready to attack. He, no matter which step, punches, kicks, grapples, whatever, he needs to prepare. So the magnetic zone field is the distance, let's say, give me the side kick. The one thing is very good, if somebody can kick you, you definitely can kick him. No matter how tall he is. Even a small person can kick straight when he gives a side kick to him in attack like this, okay? So if he can touch me, I can touch him. This is natural physics. This is basics. No matter what he does, this magnetic zone field helps is one of our first concepts, not to anticipate the move of the enemy, because you can't. So we don't fight visual except in the beginning. As soon as the fight starts, there's no time for visual reactions. Everything is too fast. So when he jumps around there, no matter what he wants to do, he wants to attack, he needs to prepare, I mean. Because I'm already there to attack. So I don't need to step first, prepare. He needs to step first, you see? That's what he needs first to attack me. No matter he wants to punch me or grab me, he needs to step first. And this is what we call magnetic zone field. He steps into that area when he can't touch me. So over there, I don't care. If you kick from there, just from there, kick. See, I'm not in danger. If you kick me for real, so in this case, I don't care what he wants to do. Because he moves, I attack it. So his first movement is preparation. My first movement is an attack. So we don't waste any time for that, okay? So once you understand the concept, just with the simple Wing Chun steps and chain punches, you can defeat the most non-Wing Chun attacks, like say Thai boxing attacks. We don't mind anything against Thai boxing, Taekwondo, Karate boxing. Don't misunderstand when I say this, because just for the beginners, when we say Thai boxing, people know what that means. It's like a roundhouse kick, or boxing is like jabs and hugs and uppercuts, stuff like this, okay? If you say grappling, it could be anything. So the style, we don't care about styles or methods or systems, okay? So just what we try to do to provide somebody comes to our school, to give them the realistic chance to defend them against all kind of attacks. So it really doesn't matter, it's Taekwondo or Karate. We don't care about these things. Okay, so you understand. So the first, whatever he does, first thing we always try to do with a circle step. Let's say he wants to give me a snap kick like in karate or something, you just do this. You don't need to block. First of all, you have to understand, you can't block a stronger, a kick is much stronger than my arm. First, secondly, it don't work. Scientifically, if he gives me like a Maigari or something, this is what you see in box. Kick me fast. So he kicks against my arm, look. Because he doesn't kick the target. It looks fantastic. If he would really kick the target, kicks my little brain down there. Now my arm is too short. Scientifically, block doesn't work, you see? But in most demonstration kick, they are here. So he kicks against my forearm, which is blocked. But because he kicks my arm, he doesn't kick the target. So we don't believe in these things. Everything below our genitals, you don't block or try to touch with the hand. So any of my knees, you kick, just kick. You see? My circle step, which is like a wedge. See? Any force, look, I make like the same foot moves each time. If he gives me a knee kick here, so my energy goes forward. If he gives me a kick with the other cross kick, if he kicks me over here, just kick, don't worry, just kick. See, I'm safe, or cross kick over here. I'm always safe, or snap kick. I still use the same foot. Or even a roundhouse Thai kick. Or from this side. So he can't reach me because I'm not there. So it's very important that you learn less resistant, much as possible protection while you attack. So basically we don't teach you self-defense, we teach you self-offense. Okay? You know all the saying, the best defense is your own attack. Yeah? You can choose boxing, whatever. You probably learn something like this. Hey you. Right? So if you're tough, you can take it, but maybe the other person's not tough. It's not good for him or her. Okay, so you have always have the fight visual. So if you fight, which I'm going to the next stage is hands. Okay, so look, you always protect the same wedge, triangle concept you have here, you have up here. So what I always say, you have a three-dimensional protection shield in front of you. If you take your upper body from your groin to the top of your head, this is your vital organs. You divide in a vertical midline and a horizontal midline. This is approximately your solar plexus. This is the center point. From here, a straight line goes straight to your enemy, any kind. Doesn't matter the size, your center line grows with the tall or short, whatever the enemy is. So the small guy is here, the tall guy is here. Why? So let's say you have a small guy. Can you go on your knees, please? I love this position. So, don't call me Monica. I'm not Clinton. So, hey, I have to hear this every day in California. If I stay like my center line would be straight, he could hit my tummy. I couldn't even touch him. You see, with a big angle. That's why my center line drops to his. Now, if he wants to hit me again, I can go forward and be protected, even in small ways. See? Now, let's say it's Michael Jordan. You like this one, right? Now, the same here. If I keep my center line my own level, so he has all the angle to hit me. But if I lift up to his angle, now if he punches me, so I can go in. You see, I'm protected and he can't touch my tummy because this is too far away for him. So you understand a little bit about the center line period in WWE2. Now this is very important. Now if you look at frontally, so we have basically the width from elbow to elbow. You have the depth from your fingertip to your elbow. Okay, and then you have the height from your highest point to your lowest. So which creates, if you have an imaginary line from the top of your head, top of your finger to the manza, you have one imaginary line and one here to your arm. So now of course if he stays in a manza wuza position in our system, if he doesn't move at all, you can hit him very easy. Now this is where we put in our concept, one of our first active movements. So if he moves in, the arms move forward, so which creates pressure, which we need to make a wedge work. No pressure, no wedge. Okay, the same as we here. The same concept we exactly have here for the lower part. Okay, but more important of course is your upper part because of the vital organs, but we still care about our legs, okay? So most people that don't care give me a kick, they go like, boom, and they're tough. 25, 26-year-olds, they're gone. Everything's broken, so we don't want this. Everything you see in Wing Chun, distance, you have no blocks at all. So everything is a hindered attack. So if he's very close and he gives me a kick from here, I can do what we call bongurk or japgur, or he kicks over here. I try to kick him, but he's so fast, I was so slow that he hindered my kick, which turns in this position. Same with my punch. If I punch, he's very strong. He will push my arm and something like this, but the arm is still active, trying to move forward unconsciously. Okay? So, same concept here and there again. If the distance is open and he kicks me, whatever, so you're not going to try to do this. Because this would not work for a woman or a smaller man against a really hard kicker. So same thing. Remember in your legs, he kicks you, you just kick, or he kicks you this way, you can always use it. So you're not standing there and anticipating. Right? So you understand how you can't do that. So, very important, everything is an attack. Now, if you understand this concept, you're already at the bridge for the two distances, which is the most dangerous to get in. So now, doesn't matter, later on, for me, I have no problem how expert in kicking, spinning back kicks, whatever you try to do, because I'm in before you can do anything. So I don't care about what kind of a tool he's going to use to hurt me. If I'm too slow, he kicks, or spinning back kick or whatever. You can always do these things. Second, if you're a little late. You much later he kicks you high, you don't know. You can always use your techniques according to concept, but still, if your footwork is good for a beginner, so what I'm telling is basically people like other Wing Chun styles, or guests here, or new first timers in Wing Chun. You know your footwork, you pay the first 3 months of work. I'm not using any technique, kick me please. Just simple step, or he wants to grab me or whatever. I'm here, grab me again. All footwork, so you don't see bongzo, chamzo, you don't see any kind of techniques. Actually, we don't sell you guys or teach you guys techniques neither. So if you understand everything, it's just motion. Relax, forward energy. If somebody comes, bends your arm fine, you go back into this, like a feather. So you don't have a chamzo, bongzo. These things don't exist later. Sounds maybe complicated. As soon as you have any resistance, any kind of thing like blocks, then it's not for Wing Chun, not for women. It's not ranking system. Anything is no resistance is Wing Chun, ranking system, okay? So, of course you can do all this beautiful stuff for shows. We have to create things like we saw this morning, that you do this thing so you can show everything in a performance. But for real, you have to crash the guy because of fear, okay? I can show you a couple of demos. Kick me anything. I'll do very simple. Because the hammer kick was a try. I don't know what he's going to do, right? So you can always go, but important is to balance. You don't have the pressure, you just lose, because most people don't understand how can we stay on the rapid. Very important, everything you're going to see in tower, which means the light here, there's not one big little idea, there's lots of little ideas. Every motion, every little bit has an own little idea in it, okay? So this is what you learn here, the most important. If there's any secret, it's in your footwork. So even I step in, sweep my foot, look, I'm always here, I'm not, just pick my foot. For power. Even he moves, I'm not shaking. I can punch all the time. So I'm not fighting for my balance. If I would have like some people do 60-40, if I do this, now I'm very vulnerable. You can attack me because I have to fight for my balance. It's very important. Now when I show you, it's because of my pressure. Sweep. So move my foot. Yes. You can also do these things, but it's not, again, it's not active. When you feel, I'm not trying to sweep my foot. If I feel a little too strong, more than my pressure is, no, Figma. I just leave it go, you see? Just let go, just let pass his foot. But I'm not doing it myself, I'm not lifting up here. So take a leak and then move on. Alright? So then you run over the other one, you don't want to let in. Now, also with the footwork, because this is important, otherwise you can't close the gap. This is our position. Your rear knee is hitting behind the front knee, so you have a wedge as you have it here. Once you're in your opponent, you do not stand, it's not our pre-fighting position. When it's just with Manta, without Fußball. The problem is, look, I can kick him, he can't even touch me. So if he gives me a round toss kick, see? Now, stay, don't move that foot, again. Don't move that foot, look, I'm still here. Kick me from there again. Now you see the distance? So my head is still here. Now I don't give him a target. This is our pre-fighting position. Now if you kick me, what do you have to do? So, scusi. So you need to come closer so I can hit them, right? But before I couldn't do it. Okay, again. Now you see the distance? Now, that's it. So I can touch him too. Remember? So it's the same concept against kicks, also against, when you really stay like this, you force him come into the fist distance. Okay? Otherwise he's going to dance. So we don't care, we don't run after people. If he's, let's say, over there, jumps around, we just don't care. You want something, you come. So he needs to attack you. If not, you're very, in that case, you're very passive. Right? Very passive, so you don't want trouble. So whatever he does, okay, give me a hammer kick. Everything is diagonal, you just go straight and give me a round toss kick. Give me a snap kick. No matter what he does, give me a spinning back kick. Spinning back kick, spinning back fist. Rede, Fußfaust ist nicht gedreht. Achso, den hier. Yeah, I'm always in. Either one of them, kick or back fist. So I'm always here, I'm always in. So once you're in, you crash the guy. You don't give him space at all to move. So this means you disable a kicker, any kind of a kicker, or a boxer, or puncher. So once he attacks me, go. Can you punch me? Punch, 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 kick. So I push him in a position, even though he wants to do elbow. Give me elbow. My distance always here. Now he's maybe in a position to throw me. Grab me. The problem is most grapplers, they forget about the hands of the enemy. And the enemy, or in this case against the grappler, the enemy doesn't know how to use their limbs. Okay? As long as a human built the way we are, there's only one way to fight, using these limbs. The question is how you use it. How you use it. Some people like this, some people take one go kickboxing, some people grab you. Hey, please! Again, it's nice. All knowledge, all the philosophy, everything. Beautiful. But as an individual, I'm more interested in my face, my nose, everything, okay? This is more my concern than doing nice movements. It has to be logical, rational. Okay, all the motions have to be very economical. Save me time. Generally, most people, they work, what? Manufacturers, offices, they work 5 to 6 days a week. They have maybe twice, they're lucky 3 times a week for 2 hours or an hour and a half to train. So they can jump ropes, they can do all these things, but you know how long it's going to take to learn something, any style they do? For Wing Chun you don't need to. You start with Wing Chun, you stop the class with Wing Chun. When the first day out, with more simple stuff, after one class, intensively doing chin punches, doing the footwork, will help you to go to this gap. It's most important. Once you know this, then we can start to show you skill more techniques. But this is a high skill already. When you start Wing Chun, this is what we show. In mid-level, you do lots of chi, lots of technique, and you guys know lots of Kungfu, because so much information. The higher you go, the less you will use them again. Because your body is ready to perform at any time, and incoming force will push your limbs in any direction. You're not the savages anymore. So you will become a circle back to them what you learned the first day. Because I'm very high ranking, and I don't want to show him my bones out, or my parts out, or my nice chums out. I don't care. If he attacks me, I want him to hit him before he hits me. The most protection and less resistant transport. For that, you need to be very flexible. Okay? Any questions still here? So when you understand this, then you don't need to go in this theory game. Yeah, what if I do this, if I do that? But I don't care. Try it. I'm not the art, you try. It's very simple. Okay? What I'm explaining you guys is not Emin BOZTEPE, don't mistake. It belongs to his sister. I'm a human, I'm beatable. I try my best to survive for today, but again, it's about the efficiency of the system, which makes me who I am, end of the day. I can do boxing, wrestling, I will always go home like this. Right? I think I look a little bit more pretty than that. Because I have the protection I need while I attack the guy before he attacks me. You understand now? It's about the system, it's not about the person. But humans always like to pinpoint somebody, hey, I want to be this guy. Or why is this guy so good? Because the system behind him is so good, which gives me all the chances. So this means everyone in our organization has a chance. My Sifu was one of the first in the world to climb up. Everybody was in front of him. I had the same chance in his organization. Everybody had a chance to go on top of me one day. Not like there's no. Everything is open. The person who understands the concepts, works hard, will achieve his aim. Very, very simple. Okay? It's all about yourself. And this is the same thing for self-defense. If you're really interested to protect yourself, you're not going to jump around. You're not going to make a nice movement on the back. You're going to do something that's rational, fast and effective, okay? So, now, again, combination, a lot of people go, wow, what do you do against a combination? The same thing again. If you let it happen, you gain this space for, you can box, you can combine, right? But again, he needs to come in, combine. Hey, where's the combination? Now, even though I'm not using my skill, I'm just still first student level. First and second student program, what I'm showing you guys. And he has already trouble. Okay? So, it doesn't matter if you want to use more, if you box. And you can do more. So now, you can't even use the elbows. Nothing. So you only can grapple. Once you understand the pressure, and then you can go. I really love it. I give him all my weight, but I'm balanced, you see? Because I have my pressure. My hands are always free. I'm never going to hold them. One of our principles, if you hold, you can't hurt. If I hold him, I can't punch him. It's the only chance for a weaker person. Keep constantly hitting him. Same spot. You rest on it, or you want it? Hit him. Now you can't even wrestle me. You understand now the idea? But if I go, any question the first to distance, kick and punches. Good. Elbow, knees. Even if you're here, I go back to the wrestling later, or grappling. If you're here, grabs your knee and neck, try to give you whatever. Let's say I'm here, you grab me, takes the punches, he's a tough guy, and try to do this Thai boxing. Give me knee. If I have my pressure here, there's no space. He lifted up his leg. So now, it's here. Now again, one of the advantages of the one-team system is what? Using your limbs at the same time. Many of them, right? Not just focusing on the knee. If he grabs me here, I'm here, give me a knee, I'm not going to do. Go. Right? So if he gives me the knee, well, I'm working down here. I'm working upstairs, so he will never have the 100% focus on any of the attacks, because he's fighting for his balance. Because I'm able to assist him, to use my limbs, to keep him busy up there and down there. And because of the contact, attacking, because of that, I already locked all his weapons. I control all his hands. Try to kick me, lift that leg. Now he's just switches weight, right? Punch me, see? This is what you guys call them later, cheese or whatever. I will come to that too, punch. See, whatever, he drops his hand, punch. I'm always here. All my energy goes to his face. And what we teach you in the end of the day is not fist fighting or leg fighting, it's man fighting. His brain wants to hurt me. These are just tools. And most other styles punch. They want to do this, they want to hurt the tool. Or even some other Wing Chun people, right? Okay. Mama fetch, chapter. You see things like this. So the energy goes there. And loiting, the energy goes there. So everything is focused on the captain. Once you get the captain, the soldiers are out of control, right? Do you understand the concept, the principle a little more? Good. So whatsoever, if you know how to get in, with our basic movements basically. And from A to B, a lot of things can happen. Let's say, look, you punch me very fast, okay? Go. Did you see a bounce out there? Punch me really. Come on, again, look. Anybody see a bounce out? Yeah. Anyone else? Again, look. Did you see a bounce out? But there is. The problem is this, with people that call it techniques. And this is for people that like to fish and salmon, a little bit here, a little bit there, they go home and have lots of ideas. But they can't fight the aim, to reach the aim. It's never possible because they already know too much. You know, I call these people that know much but can't do it smarter. So what I mean is, if you go and say, look, let's say I'm a Wing Chun teacher, he's my Sifu, right? Well, I'm following him for 10 years. And he shows me this, okay, hit me. So I beat everybody, one day somebody comes and Oh, Sifu, didn't work. Your stuff doesn't work. So Sifu goes back, hey, so that guy attacked me. Look, works on the knee. So there's something wrong with it. Show me slowly again, Sifu. Show me. So the Sifu goes very slowly, but now, picture by picture. Now you stop the picture. So, Sifu was like, what's happening? What's this? What's this? Yeah, now show this. Hey, I showed you. You just didn't look. Punch me, look. It's there. You just watch. What I'm saying is now, you have to stop the whole motion in the middle. People see this. What is this? I don't know. Let me see what's happening. Punch me slowly. Oh, he's bending my arm. Well, what do you call it? Okay, let's give a name. It's a swinging arm, right? He swings my arm. So this is the name. Let's say Wing Chun would not be developed in China, would be here. Now you go to Hong Kong, and you go, Ching arm. Just a name. Doesn't change from the scientific concept and motion at that time. It doesn't change anything. It's just a name. Now what's happened, the student's going to go, what? Bounce out! He has a pocket full of technique. Now he goes and works with this. Now the student, same thing, head, but now the punch, you punch me inside, punch me here, okay, very fast. Did you guys see some jumps out or something like that? Tons out? Anyone see something? Same thing. 5 to 10. He changes direction. It doesn't work when he hits me this way. Slow down. Okay. Same thing again. So chunks out, sinking elbow, right? Because his elbow is forced to sink. So another technique. What's happened? His pocket is full. Now he knows so much. This is, by the way, your brain. Okay? What I'm saying, right? Now you're going for a real fight. Now the guy attacks you and go like, ah! I have to see what I'm going to use. Hands are no good, hands are no good. So you don't have time to make a decision which you want to use. Because that's why we believe in 4 principles. Each arm you can put four directions on it, and if you put 4 in a bigger sense picture, same here. So if this is indoor, you have a lower part inside and outside of the indoor, and the same outside. So if you're here, and I go forward, his force can push me over this side, or this side, the same from the inside, you see? So while the picture is both my whole arm, so if it goes on this side, you see, this could happen, or if it pushes this way, still this could happen. So you have the same reflexes on this side. Reflexes, you do cheese up to implant them, that you still attack without pre-arranging your movement. That's the whole job, the duty of Chizo. So Chizo is no fight. A lot of people, listen this way a little bit, and with this, you attack me, so I'm going to pose. And you see them this way. So they're all pre-arranged. So you don't have, if you're attacking me very fast, I don't know what I'm going to attack. I'm able to absorb this force, not change this direction. Look, if I stay in front of him, he'll attack me very fast. See, I still let him go. I'm here. So I use my sense of touch of my arms, so the press when I feel the attacks, to push myself away and let him pass and kiss my hands. Right? Any attack? Okay, you just can hit him to whatever you want to. And you control him, you're here. If he pushes from here, you're always here, whatever, push again. Maybe this can happen, you see? Doesn't matter. So whatever his force is, you go with the force. Not against, but your energy still goes through center line. And when you hear Wing Chun, we fight frontally. And many Wing Chun people mistaken, they think they give me punches. I fight frontal. Right? You see a lot of people doing that. Again, this means if you attack me, I'm out of his center line, but he's always on mine. So I'm frontal towards him. He's in front of, but I'm not in front of him. So a lot of people don't understand. So this means, again, The most secret is here. To close all the gaps in all 5 distances is your footwork. If you can't move, you become a target. What is that move? Target? You shoot it, right? Very simple. If you can't move, if you block, you do this just like. Maybe you have this, you can't move out, you back and forth one line fighter. You're going to get you sooner or later. And you need to be fit and young. So, now, knee, elbow, everything you have here. Let's say I'm going in, I survive the knee and elbow, and all of a sudden he grabs and throws me. So, maybe this, do it. So always my pressure. Or he does a grand judo throw. Just throw. Throw me. Because of my position of my foot, I have no weight still. Throw me. Because of my pressure on his knees, you guys can't see, and this is what it is. No video, no book in the world can teach you. That's why you need an instructor. All these books, and these are very important, but then in the end of the day, you can't without an instructor. This is something you can't teach in books and videos, okay? So you need, the books are good to get information, and you can learn it from your teacher. Oh, maybe they know the snakes. I don't like a nugget. You hold your students tall, everything you learn you can use. Everything you want to do, okay? Because not able. And you often did very long time jiu-jitsu, stuff like this. So it's not somebody that doesn't know what to do. See? I'm not leaning forward. If I would sit like this, very easy to lift. Very easy. So my hand is all trans, so I can do everything. Eh? Even he's strong with this, I can't do that too. Okay, so just step back and be right where I want to. Okay? So this against the throws or whatsoever. If I'm here and he goes all of a sudden behind me, going behind me, I don't do the rest of waste my energy. What the problem with the most common styles is because they don't have a center. Here's the grapple. So now my Oma back in front. So I look like him. I hold and wrestle, and this is what he wants to do. No matter what you do. And then becomes incest, grappler against grappler anyway. So Wing Chun is different because of your concepts. Center line theory and all the stuff I mentioned. If you want to grab me, first of all, listen, I don't attack. If he's in my range. If you're over there, I don't care. I'm active in the beginning when you move, but you gotta move in. No. I don't make the mistakes when he can't get in. So you're not like. And you will do the same thing because you try to anticipate. Okay? So if I'm here, he attacks me. Okay, now like this one. Okay? Go. Go down on your knees. Just jump on there. Go. And then he grabs me, bring me down. Bring me down. Very difficult. I don't hit his skull. I hit all his nerves, I hit his neck. It's very painful. And then what you have to understand is the way you punch. Are you okay? The way you punch is very relaxed. So most people have with a close range, they can't punch them. Fists are swollen, they break their thumbs and stuff like this. Because they have a very, stiff form of a punch or fist. They're very, very like this. You do these things just to relax your wrist. Just like you have a bird in your hand and you don't squeeze. The shit goes down, head goes up. Like you hold the bird here. You don't want to let it go. That's soft, very relaxed. So, no matter what you do, but even I hit him, most people always say, oh, Emin's videos are he's like it. My first is very fast, I don't want to hurt him. Second, even I punch like this, look, my open hands. So I'm not squeezing, yeah? So I don't, doesn't hurt me anyway, because once you know this stuff, you're very relaxed. The joint works for you, not against you. So even very chunky punch like this, whatever. Find here, if you turn this face down, go up, no, just the face, not up, face down. Look, up, back, 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 to left, like a magnet to the other side. So if you have a board, you see, I mean, I like this. Okay, you have something very heavy and hard, I can't break, but I will break it, you'll see. When I have the video, I will punch the hole through. No. Give me that roll. Yes. This is what you mostly see, why people hurt their fist. Very strong. I will hit a punch through this without me losing it and making no stretch on it. You'll see. I can't focus. I locked the elbow. Of course I can't do it. But now, this is what you see most in performances, most stage stuff, right? You don't have the time to make the enemy's face flat and just position you where you want. That's what I'm basically saying. These are nice demos, but I don't know what for. Because the face is not flat. You can hit here as round, you can do this on you, or when you punch like this. Most boxers or professional pro conductor do the head problem with the wrist. Because now overextending already here. If you hit like this and he turns his face over there, ouch. So that's why it's very relaxed. No matter how I punch, as soon as I touch your turn. Verstanden? My force goes through, you see? It doesn't hurt me. And it goes like, if you do this, see, even I miss, it doesn't hurt my joints. Okay? It's a very important, or now what's the best thing, if a close range, you see here, you get back like, and if you push pressure, even this doesn't work, push pressure on them, then go the way you stay, you have no, so what you want to do, build up your balance or you want to hit. The one doesn't go with the other. So you need the balance first. That's powerful. Push me. Now you can move. Now I have power. You got it? But if I'm like this, and he's heavier than I, push me. But if he's heavy and I'm here, push me. So I just can relax. Because higher you stand, of course with the pressure, more flexible you are. Deeper you stand, unflexible. Even if you think you're strong, but you're unflexible. So, now the next thing is, let's say the guys really go close to you. Look, you punch this face. Let's say, see up, I can punch very hard. I don't want to do it now. Right? I can very punch on the turn. So you have all these punches. If it's this way, squeeze, squeeze. Whatever. Even if my hand is here, okay. I can punch this way. You see? So it doesn't really matter. So I'm here, he's on my side. Yeah. I can punch hard enough to break his nose. Or he's here. Enough. Boom. Perfect. It doesn't matter, his face is here. So once you know all this stuff, you can punch. Understand the form. You know, all our secrets in our form. And I think they look quite different than the other people. You can apply them, but first you need to understand. Once you understand, then you understand the concept and all the stuff, you can fight ranking system. Defend yourself, right? So, whatsoever. Now you get also on the ground, let's say, oh well, somebody pulled you, you lose your balance no matter, you're not the best. I understand all this stuff, so if you're like the average person, and again, people fall in trap to discuss with others, oh yeah, well, beat up this guy, is so with this guy, I don't know. Again, you people are not going to find Mike Tyson, or any name you imagine is famous. Because you go after work, the next pub at rush hour, you have your after-hour beer or whatever, there's a guy who's going to grab your girlfriend's ass, you're going to fight him. And this is what Wing Chun is made for, not for you, okay? Because people have always these funny ideas, right? So, now let's say whatsoever. If I'm here, let's say he grabs my leg and brings me down to the floor. I'm not trying to hold, okay, push me down. See, I'm here. My legs always contact. I'm not trying to hold the ladies. Before I do this jiu-jitsu stuff, and maybe I'll fall flat on your back. The air is strong. Right? You hear something. Now, next step, what he wants to do. Come get close to me. Right? So if he jumps around, go just the first student level, fast. Go faster, faster, faster. Once slow, I can kick him. If you give me tiny kicks, so I can kick him. It doesn't matter if you hold my foot, grab, I can all the stuff I have in my form. Not really stuff or whatever. You just I can bring him down. Thank you. This way, kick him or all the stuff you do in the form. See, everything with the hand works here. All the same concept, so you don't need to change your concept. For most style, they do grappling, they have to change. They do boxing, they have to change. It's the same thing. If he pushes my leg over there, the spring is there, you see? I'm back, coming. And just let him pass, he turns me, you see? Like a bongzao turn or bong tazao turn. Now he needs to get up. I can kick him, or if I'm enough, I'm protected, I can get up here, see? You go just very easy over him and just kick his shit over. Right? So, you learn how to fall, you don't step, boom, you learn how to get up, okay? Without using your hands, and protect your feet while you're getting up. Very easy, no force. See, very easy. You don't need to do this, okay? So you learn all this stuff, beginner. Second is making the circles, grabbing you, pushing you aside. And then the next one is for three. He pushes me, steps halfway in. Go in. Just maybe you kick him here, see? Just to bring him down before he gets in, before he can really with this whole force. So the dritte Programm, eh? Or push him. Okay, go. And do these things, always ready to kick. In this case, this is a longer extension manzao, like Mangurk. Both are like substitute for wuzao, because it's not a punch, it's his whole weight, whole physique is like a punch now. You need a little stronger manzao. Okay? So that's what you understand. You get all this. Let's say you push you and you can catch him, whatever. You can catch him maybe here. You can do this, or you push it this way, or straight kick. Okay, you can do all this in the third student program. The next one, if he pushes me, this one jumps in. In my hands again. I'm always free. I'm showing you because I'm not moving with them to show you I don't need them really. But they're always ready to hit. I let this force go this way, not on top of me. So I'm not trying to pull him. Now, once you learn this, jump again. Now look at my hands now. So I shoot him, I hit his throat, whatever. Now he comes close, I can hit him. And still be with him, you see. If he wants to get up, I can kick him before I get up. Okay? I'm on top of him anytime I want. So let's say, so this is the same like in Chuzao, but with the four concepts, left, he pushes to the left or right. Yeah, let's say, look. Push me out. So you can't pull me. See, I guide him over here. Okay, or push me out, but you change the direction this way. You see? Both ways. The same technique, but both sides. Now he pushed me from the outdoor, jumps straight on me. I let him go this way, or same thing, he pushes me outdoor, but crosses my body. See? Like a bomb work, I can get ready to punch, you see? This time I roll one momentum more on top of him. But later you drill this stuff. You get up, what's up? Jump mal rein. Okay, he pulls me up and then very easy, okay? Just hard work. So, now the last part is, I think you guys call it tackling, right? Tackle. So let's say he is either between your legs or here, I'm going to use my hands for that. Now let's say in this position. Okay, he's already that close, so I can't use his force in the sense of running into me. He tries to mountain me or get me in a headlock, though. There you go. I just show you how I can use my lip to hurt him, you see? I can always use a kick and go ahead, continue. So I'm not using any force. I can have my coffee while you're doing stuff. I'm very relaxed here, I'm not stiff. Just like you understand Jesus. If he moves, he turns me move. Yeah, just the same thing. Next one. Try again, you have your hands. If he comes close, I use it. Come on, Rahim. Go. It's the modern version of Italian spaghetti. I'm implanted spring. Always put one leg in front. I'm not stiff. Look, if I do it very strong, you can turn me, right? So it's very like cheese. So it's all same concept. You're standing. You're on top of the guy. You're underneath the guy. You're flying in the air by parachute, underwater, writing some things Facebook. So, now, do I have 10 minutes to keep with them? Okay, now what you have to understand is, now once you do lateral, again what Masifo said early on this morning, lateral, a lot of people mistake. When you lights up, they're like all of us, they're like this part. But this has nothing to reach on. Your students are always smaller, less fast probably, less skilled than you. So and that's why it's very important that you teach a student where the important is. Fine here, you give me a low kick, I show you Chun. All of a sudden doesn't look so good. But if he can't keep up, I can make Thai boxing look good. Because he doesn't understand what I'm doing. So you have to emphasize the line-kick system because it is wonderful. If he kicks me, the same concept just close range and that's it. That's it. Give me a kick. So when you move that way, if I'm slow and he opens up, I'm so close that he can hit my leg. See? That's why the jump curve happens. Because I'm too slow. It forces my leg in something we call jump curve. But if he jumps away further, so I can kick him and kick him and fall away. You got the picture? Now, you can put everything. I'm playing just for now. Not the Wing Chun guy. This is our neutral position. Give me your hand. And you wrestle it, see? But again, now let's say it's a fight over. I did not punch him, now I'm not at the wrestling. But it's still not over. I'm not in the right position to hurt him yet. Can you punch me? Punch. You see? He doesn't know it. So he doesn't practice the concepts. But if he knows the concepts, he just keeps punching. So I'm losing it. Now you see? But this is the idea. Make you guys aware of these things. So if I'm the Wing Chun guy, you do everything else. Come on. See, he doesn't have the space to do anything. Now, Before you see how the Jet Kune Do stuff, everyone knows Jet Kune Do. Why this looks good and why it works and why it doesn't work, I explain it to you. Because it's a mid-level distance, right? So, the distance must not pack down, eh? You see the people doing this. Now watch. Why it works? Because he's a dummy. This is what Jeet Kune Do people do. When I'm here, you do Jeet Kune Do. Just a simple straight punch. Anything you want to do. Grab me hand, left trap me, unten durchgreifen hat. The next move. Next move. So first, second, no matter what he does, even I don't use my hands. That's all practice. I close the gap. You can't hit me anymore. I just do the same. So, doesn't work. You understand? Because the momentum is coupled. Like Uncle Bruce Lee, he did from 100% he had to just down to 10% there. Even I admire him, I like him very much. But this is the fact. If I do this, he's the Wing Chun guy. Whatever I do, you just, the hand is free, step forward in the chain punch, okay? And I'm very fast. You see? Even I have no chance. See? It's always on the right time. This is the question, which one thing you can do. Not about fast and slow. This is what people do in other methods. All things on the right time. Safe. Okay? Thank you very much. So the idea is not to kick the low kick better than the Chun. The idea is to help your partner so that your offensive defense movement, let's say this way, are effective against those type of attacks. Okay? So let's go. We'll give a level approximation. Program 2. Program 2 is very short and more symbolic. So that you guys understand the concept for that can, and also the way the logic system does. And compared to let's say the GPD or WC, you see them sometimes like this. If you punch, you see like punch 1, 2, 3. So in that system, of course, you don't do this for 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we do both, of course. So what we do is when we chain punch, when we from this, so the Wing Chun first is going to do a pack self punch to his tummy. We go boom. See very slowly. Boom, boom, boom. At once. And you see like JKD people do like this, right? Back and punch. 1, 2. 1, 2. Steven is fast. 1, 2. Okay? The Wing Chun goes 1. Alright? So you know. Good now. So we're going to practice this a little bit. Of course, to defend, if he gives me a Wing Chun, let's say no, he gives me the JKD 1, 2. So of course Wing Chun will react 1. Guns of punch, you see? Right? So my upper body, since look, if he stays in front of me, of course my center line is here, right? So as soon as he moves and pushes to the side, so he pushes my center line here. So that's why I'm adjusting immediately my center line. As soon as he pushes me, as soon as I have this feeling, they go boom. So now his center line is off and I'm in. So my upper body is rotating a little bit, okay? I'll do it again, so you do the GTD guy or whatever. Okay, now we can do it from the chain punch, but first I'm going to do this. You do the chain punch, and like this. I'll do you want to do okay, now here, you just do this, okay? Right, and you just rotate, walk and forward, okay? That's it, you see? That's what I want now. Elbow go, if the elbow is, see? If the elbow is high, you can always hit it here. Now that's why you have protection here and here. Over on here. Okay, you come from here. Boom. Boom. The elbows low. If I'm here, no control over the center. Once you're done, you can rotate it like this. Just work on this. We're going to shoot first attacks like this. Okay? And the GT first will grab like this. So if you can jump over, you can tuck the punch together. Boom. Boom. Okay, so basically when I mean tuck the punch together. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6. So if you understand how our team system deals and how the others. Okay, this is just the symbolic. So let's do everything together, okay? Now, since the second student program is not very advanced, of course, we don't do the bones out, the hands out, and the transfer, okay? With a general understanding of it, with these simple things. Okay, now, the goal based, of course, when I'm doing 2 persons and you do 1, 2, 3, and 10, okay, when you chain punch, and I do this to you, we go, practice and stop with a low elbow punch. Okay? I don't want you to start with ups or block, just punch them in the middle. Alright? Good, let's go. Alright? Now, now you can show off. Like a finger like this, okay? Yes. So I'm just worrying the finger, okay? Now you got touch on me here. Yes, sir. So I'm gonna attack you. I'm gonna attack you and do what I did, okay? Now go. No, no. What I did before. Okay, funny guy. Show off, right? Ready? Boom, boom, boom. Push me down. 1, 2, 3. I make you all that too smart. You see what I'm going to do. Okay? Follow what I need to do. That's cool though. Look at the shape of the spear. Put it over Popeyes and everything. Again, they got the little belly there. The wood up and okay. Now, like this. Okay, so I give you a box of punch. And then you do the boom, 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 boom. Like this. Okay. Yes, I like this one. Okay. Touch once here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is what you do. Okay, now. Boom. Boom. See my elbow go and cut this back this half cutting in here, okay? And down to punch. Alright, let's go do this a little bit for a couple of minutes, okay? And then we start. The next program is a little bit complicated. But everything is complicated, but the complication out in the Chun part. Complications with hard to do and you ask the Chun people to respond. It's the easy part, but the person who's attacking, that's complicated. Okay, so to really get all this coordination in mind, because lots of people that in other martial arts are live by combinations, by techniques. You do not apply or center like your concepts or whatever he has, okay? So I show you one of the dynamics I do. So again, I'm one of those guys, and this is against trapping, but first we start one more, the third program is using Chun person. I'm this guy, okay? So I'm here, I just do the axle and go like this. You just make it step in and give it, okay? So do that guy. So, and this person, when he comes, again. As you just did this, I just single it out. Instead of hitting my tummy first, he's going to axle back this to my temple here. This way you can stop it. Okay? But just apply my center line, okay? So again. So again, it's like this because the pictures is scientific. Again, we think not in what type of attack he does, we think in angles. And this way it comes to the diagonal angle. If she comes to the diagonal angle, my center line is the shortest I'm already on. You get it? So if he deflects his hand away or pushes it away, so I have another one. It's already in. So the distance, see, you cannot, you can be the fastest person in the world, but you cannot change distance. You can't, it's always the same. If you have the shortest distance, you can't be, you change distance, it's still the shortest, direct line, shorter than the diagonal. Go back, go forward, right? So understand the idea behind it? So we just do this at the beginning of the third program. And now you apply full boom. Let's say I'm here, I will give him a chain punch, he gives me his axle like this. See if I can chain punch, and that's actually what's going to happen. You just stop it and you can learn it, you punch a punch, boom, so you understand. But later, even from the chain punch action, chain punch all of a sudden you act so like this. It's the same. Or if you find you like, with the things and then here, it comes to us and you act or what? Go again, and then chase it, right? You count another thing. Okay, so I chain punch it up here. Alright? The same thing after that. So go back to your partner, one place, we boom, boom to the face. And you just rotate, chain punch one partner, 2, 3, and then up here. So, next thing is this. So, what this, the third program deals, each program deals with topics. So, deal with this again. When we teach you the reaction of the each person, right? It's all about science again. It's not how to counter a technique with another technique. For us, in our teaching system is how to apply the physics, how to apply the concepts in a better way, economic way to do without losing lots of time. Look, when I say Wing Chun people learn, and most people, as you had mentioned earlier, they go to work for 8 hours, there's 1 hour lunch break, it's 9 hours, 1 hour go and 1 hour come back home. So it's like 11 hours, you don't have much time to train every day. So this is when we teach people for the average person, which needs protection, which doesn't have much time to jump the rope and do exercises and stuff. But they need some style that can immediately from the first second until the end for 2 hours just yields and still stay in shape. You know, you got no sweat and it's still fun, right? And you deal with the forces and you know how to deflect them. So in a short time you learn to defend yourself. And this is what we care about. I don't care what style, whatever, I want to help people to protect themselves. Okay? And if somebody's this guy's very intelligent, that's why he has Wing Chun here, right? So, but he doesn't need much, he's strong for 25, 30 pounds. You will not have that many people that are approaching to try and attack you. Most of the people that attack you, they victimize you. Mostly, right? I mean, of course, there are exceptions, but the thing is, still the fact that you can do something in the Wing Chun to defend yourself, okay? If you look at all these other types, everything, if you take one note, it's a beautiful art, it's high kicks, flexible, the limit of age and youth, basically, and flexibility. So, and then some of you guys are not flexible, some of you are already too old for doing these things to be that effective, and also, is it useful in a real fight situation, right? When you do grappling stuff, again, when you grapple still, it's still age depending, you need lots of force, right? So somebody is like him is a lightweight, they should fight this guy in grappling, will just sit on his face and then that's it, right? So this means all these arts are fantastic and beautiful for whatever they were designed for. But then are they useful in real fight situations? For somebody who's lighter and doesn't have all the exercise like a pro wrestler, right? If somebody shoots in an knife, he can change like the move out of the Wing Chun concept, the techniques, right? It's according to the concept and the techniques to move out. So, but you could not wrestle the guy down. Waste of energy and you open too, right? So, but it's fantastic. And all this tournament sport is beautiful. But then you always have to go back to reality. Because always like boxing is very limited. That's why 36-year-old pro boxing stops, because it depends on your age. And also you have not much weapons. Okay, so you don't learn how to defend against attacks. It's just sport. You're very open. You can do these things, but if the guy kicks you going and your hand cannot reach him, well then he will move, right? So I want you to understand something, and this is what we're trying to do here with this program. So the team is designed for the mass of the human race. So that's why it's a system that works with everybody. It's not limited on age, acrobatic and force. This means really everyone is not badly disabled, like no arms, of course, no legs, and there's something else. But if asthma, you have the limbs and you're normally up. And if you have asthma, we have the roots, you can still do Wing Chun. But if you're one to grapple and you need lots of stamina, so when you have asthma, you can do it. But you're limited because of the air, right? So you need the economic, you look at even make a massive man, he had throat cancer and he was still moving very well after that. So it's good when I have some students that are like 60, 70 years old in Germany and they move well and they can still defend themselves. For their environment, where they live, the people they have to deal every day. Okay, you're not dealing with some supernatural person, the supernatural powerful person comes, you buy him 6-pack beer and say, hey man, you might win. That's not your environment. Okay, that's why I want you to think realistic. That's what Wing Chun is about, to make you think realistic. You know? I did some other arts before, it was fantastic. The only art I really learned was Wing Chun and Escrima. So I
study the other arts, understand, so I can apply my Chun, understand the physics of it. So that's why Chun makes it really much more focused on stuff. It's a total different story than all the other styles that we signed for. No? And they're beautiful. Simple as that, they're beautiful what they're doing. But then I want to protect myself. I have always trained and then become that good so I can give my knowledge to help the people that need it. You know, I'm very happy as a big boy to come see him. I'm very teaching you smart. You're a good person, but still, you know, you're shy, you want to, you know, you get self-confidence. Sometimes very good people are very shy too. And on the other hand, but mostly I care about you people. Who speaks, you do, right? And people who are down at things I will not go to because it's where I come from. That's why they should have me. And today I'm strong, I can afford to be hungry, and mostly I can help these people. That's the idea. All this program, what you're doing is not technique. Applying physics of nature or applying events. But as we built like this, it's one way of fighting. Go to this big bunch of breath, right? Okay? So we first and then we're going to do some don't give head thoughts because we need everything. Right, first and second, if someone like this gentleman gives me a head, they probably will knock himself over on this side. When you don't forget that when these things are people show you head thoughts and all the time, fantastic. But hey, hang on a minute. Who's your opponent? The guy who's victim of the bigger than you want to give head thoughts, maybe you just give him a wrong corner and you get dizzy and then you respect this. But just think about these things. So that's why we treat it much more logical. Okay, so as I said, as long as you have built like this, is only one way of fighting. So we can use just the idea or the question is, how do we use our roots to defend ourselves or the fight? So some people do this, some people like this, some people like this, and then two people like this. Okay? So it's about the economy of motion. How much time and what type of big fun movement I need to get there. Yeah? So which motion is more direct, and less time consuming, and shorter time and distance, and more protected while I'm attacking. Remember, look, if you give me an easy jab, I can look like this, or I can look like while I'm attacking because I'm open. Now if you give me a jab, or I can look like this, or the other one, I can look like this. You see now? The same thing, just I'm protected while I'm attacking. In order to defend myself, of course. Okay, otherwise you need to lawyer anyway. Okay, so good. So you understand a little bit again the whole ideology behind it. Okay? Now, so after you have done this, now the trapping is people try to trap you. Okay? There are lots of these styles using, you know, this jiu-jitsu or jiu-jitsu, whatever names that just names, and people try to maybe lock your arms down. Okay? So I only go a few things. A few movements because later on the instructor can add lots of things and you always, what I'm using is remember sitting down, kwanza movement, and just kwanza combined with the second and fourth punch. It's all I'm going to use to defend. But okay, I'll just show you the other people what they normally do. Let's say you do it like this, and he's punching it, and I will talk about he's punching it, remember the Chun, you do the Chun first, okay? Now this is when it cuts in. Now I'm strong enough that you couldn't hit me, so at that moment I can go so I'm going to double back this now, okay? Okay. Okay. So when I did it slow motion, look. I do this, the hand comes, crack, now my hand moves up here. If I'm behind your fist, so it's over outside. Now, you can see that I'm trapped in here. Now you see? Okay. Boom. This is what they call trapping. The trap your arms in. Right? So, now, now, if you do that to me, alright? So, backs up like this, move, up and trap, you see? Okay? Move, and boom. Now trap him. Hit him one more again. Move, and hit him again. Very slow motion. Now you see, back, and now see this hand? Arms down, grabbing, angle, boom, punch. If he's stronger before he pushes in, okay, so I guide it on the opposite side, trap him. And then backs out and boom, all together. One. Defend it, and I can open the movement together. Okay, now I can do it fast. Okay, come on. off, back fist. Good. Now, good power. See? So what do you do, okay? Slow motion again. Now hit the first look. He's already hit. Taps up. That boom. Now that's good, okay? Go for the target. Okay, taps up, taps up. Taps up, taps up afterwards. But still. Taps up. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, the third one. Good, go. So this is one. Now the same thing, please, if I try doing this, it punches. Now my hand is not behind, it's in front of us. I do not have that close, punch my hand. Okay, so like this, okay, look. And this, boom. 2 times back, so very easy, and look. Boom. Punch. With this hand, remember now. This no right push here again, punch out, and this shoot out again. Okay? So now I check with this one and okay? That's nice, huh? And then I go back. So, now, very nice and easy. So, you can pack some punch, like this, and this now. That's pack some, boom, right? Now watch, boom. When he does this, he comes. Then you just, as soon as he gives the second pack up, watch again, slowly. So look. So when he pushes you down, my upper hand push down, pulls on and boom. Again, that's very easy, one movement. Boom, boom. Easy, eh? Boom. Because look, one time here he pushed me down, and I hook in, so he pushes himself down. And what's happening is, I get this beautiful little arm down side. I will hold it like this. Boom. Talk to your lawyer, please. Again. Boom, boom. Easy enough, right? Good. I don't give you time to keep doing this now. Okay? So have fun. So now you have pretty much to simple practice about practice double part. Okay? Now do the same thing, the same exercise, just the third one's a little bit different, fifth one's a little different. You know, now you know movement 4, right? So this one, 1, 2 practices, 3, and now we start the same thing just like this. Remember the second program? I give and you punch your guns up like boom. So while you're doing a guns on punch, if you see a tendency, it's like I does this traction this way. So if he does this to you, punch so punch, I go here now, you grab my head and like this. Okay? Boom, boom. Okay, now you see, again, boom, 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 boom. Now you do the same like the first. Not so very slow motion. You see again very slowly. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Now I track in my punching. Remember? Okay? So let's go. I work on this one. How you do? 6 sections. So number 5. It's the same method. Now we do like this. Okay, like as I said, number 5. Start the same. I'm here. You know this, but now I go here. Now I go underneath my punching with like this. The one double like this was on top. Remember? This goes like boom. Very simple. Very easy. You do it. Boom. And this, now hard, and then hard. Don't get rid of this. You see? I'm not there. You're already there. Again. Boom. See? Okay? Now do the same thing. Boom. Hooking down. See now? Hooking down. Boom. Okay? One more time. See? Now, when this concept pushes you up to come, now it's 4 seconds force. In that moment, if I put my elbow down, we push. Now you see what's happening with the gun? It's another form of borrowing your opponent's force. And that's just use your biceps. This is what he needs to do this to use his biceps. Now if you push up towards your face, very strong, very strong. How 230 pounds? I'm using 2 fingers, push up. Now look how can I move. I'm not leaning, I'm not pulling, look, just 2 fingers, look. I'm not my elbow. So I'm borrowing his force, his stiffness. It's making him borrow his whole body. And then you like this, make very strong now, very strong, very stiff, your whole body, very stiff, look. Right? Again, very strong, good. Hey, strong. This guy ran too smart, and that's all, right? Very strong. Ooh, look. That's almost tapering down, see now? Same idea now when he does this to me. Now look. You see? One more time from here. Very, very. So you understand a bit about physics, so we're going to things again. Boom, look. And right. One more time. And then of course, Okay? Good. Okay. Now the final one is things like the when we do chain punch, maybe I'm in diagonal. Boom, the guy that is to you. Okay, maybe punch me. Maybe you like me, I'm not doing like. He does big. He goes here, he goes to this and grabs in here. Okay, just a cross, then that's it. Andrew the giant. Okay. Alright, now, do this on me, okay? So you grab this hand, I will punch you, grab both and then like this. Okay, now, when you do this, the moment he grabs me here, look, I need to plant out. Look at plant out, and then go boom. Okay, so now, one more time. Boom. So as soon as he grabs, my elbow goes low, and then I have a plant out. Nothing myself, and then again, plant out. Plant out, plant out. And lots of time. Okay? Now, one more time, let's hold it. Ooh. You grab some seat, grab me down this way, and then thank you. Okay? Now, this is one, the other one is very strong grabs. Now I grab this way. Okay, try and champion some movement like this. I'm just using this when I'm moving with my elbow, lands out. This also lands out. When you grab me here, it's so strong. I go good, then now this hand just lands up inside. And you see, when he holds himself, thank you. I trapped him or we trapped him out. One more time. Boom, boom. No. Grab me. That's what you want to do first. If you don't grab me, look, trap me first. See? Okay, you give me back first, you can trap me. That's how you do it. Boom! Now, you want to really trap me, okay? But if you do this and you let it in the middle, you make sure you do this in the middle, you let go, trap me and let go your hands. I should forward, right? So that's why he needs to trap me, yeah? Boom, boom, you see? Boom. Just hold it for 1 second. Problem is I'm explaining to you guys, and then, of course, the mechanism. You go for real, for faster movement. I'm already there. But the slow so I can explain you. Okay? Now look. Boom. See? This hand moves forward. Cut into that and I'm standing. Okay? And now boom, boom. Alright? So you understand a little bit? So this is pretty much the idea for third lots of program. It's trapping against getting trapped. So find out your secret. So remember how you're holding. So if you like this, you need to do the technique. Okay? So now of course I'm holding again. Boom! This will be the real. You find out, you can now punch it. One, this together. If it's probably parallel, so if you want to cut with it, let's say not the knee, but just the hands into that one punch, it's moving the front. Okay? So you got a good idea? So you first set 1, we'll do set 2. Okay? So you have a little idea. So you still all the way up all these complicated movements with the hands all counter and chain punches and simple kicks, right? So this complete free. You start with it, you can add other ideas, other examples. Just choose a few as you have seen it. And you can, as instructors, you can have our student come at a program or you trap me like that. You're shown. Okay, very easy, okay? Good. Good luck now. I hope you guys understood. So now, what is 1, 2, 3, okay? This is, for instructors, very important. So, okay, you can always go back in this tape and then watch the booklet. The teaching program was exactly the thing I'm shipping out this week in another newsletter. Okay, so actually finish up this course. Yeah. I told you so we're going to program 4, and I told you a long time ago, so bits and pieces now put them together here. So program 4 is really mostly about speed, timing in the beginning, and the Wing Chun magnetic zone, the WT magnetic zone field. So we're going to apply step by step. But I also showed you a few things. Remember when you were with G down? Just palms down. For me, I was attacking. For us, I want to step back. And you just at the time, I can kick it punch. This means when I do this, you jump back. So I'm applying the pressure. Remember when it drops his hands here? Boom, my hand shoots out. Remember this? The basic concept on a palm down or G down. The same thing when I'm here and all of a sudden, while I'm attacking, yeah, gonna tease out the bones out. And then drop, you shoot out, you go back. So now we're going to do the same thing from here. Just change punches, you're the Chun person. Boom. So don't move it on. Look, I'm just doing this. I'm moving this in going to boxing position. So I'm not going to put a kickboxer, a boxer, whatever, right? Whatever. So as soon as you feel the pressure is off, you follow the chain punch. Boom, don't give it a chance to hit you again. Okay, so if you would be a boxer, you can just put this circle out. That'll give you a chance in this circle, okay? So we start with this, alright? Let's go. Also, one thing is here, so if he's a boxer or whatever he is, just he attacks you, control the head in here. That's the reason you always have control. So if you see he can kick you anytime, and you'll tell him into the brain here, okay? So typically you protect him now. If whatever type of attacking he is, doesn't matter really, okay? So when I hit him and he's in trouble, he covers up and he wants to go away, so he's going to step out. Sense, I feel. So that's why the pressure up here, the contact is very important. For many reasons again. First of all, you don't open, you cannot kick you. Alright? And second is look, lots of accident if you just push me. Just by accident you can get hurt, alright? So this is another thing. Accident or not accident, you cannot afford to be open, okay? And there's no muscles to protect them. Alright? So, and you're not always wearing your muscles with you, okay? Joint protector, right? With a Wrangler jeans. So, then you're going to walk funny. Like you're always on a veil. So anyway, so that's very important. So when you've done this, it's real control the jumps, and you can feel and there's another input you feel, okay? So, however, now this was a short distance. Now the guy goes like a little bit further away. So if I cannot reach you, this is the step I'm reaching. This one we put the passing step. Okay? So I see that when it jumps away, this is the short. Okay, now a lot of common mistakes. What people do is, okay, if you're a Chun person, you start the chain punch from all over there, like boom. Okay? So there's a big, so I don't want you like when you jump, I go from there, right? So that's why if it's very far, so you like it, you jump, look, my hand is here, but now in the second step I'm starting. So I don't want you to waste your energy from A to B halfway through. When you reach your goal, then you're already exhausted. Okay? So you want to stick, if it's from here, you don't move. But from here, if I'm here or here, doesn't matter. I step now, look, my second step. So it's the same concept with one step, look. So the first step, I'm not doing anything with my hand, but my guard is up. Now look. Second I reach it, then you get it. So you don't waste your energy in the first part. Okay? Now, do the same thing. I'm here. So if you jump back, you hit him, okay? Let's go. So bigger distance and you make it. Now, so it's all about understanding. So it's a metaphor. I think you call it metaphor, okay? So what I'm showing you now, okay? But you understand really what's happening now. We're here and we jump very far, I cannot reach it. But I really intentionally trying to reach it. So if you jump and you want to, okay, faster than that, and reach it very easy. Okay, stop. But I can still reach it with the second step. Go from here to all the way to the second time, you see? Which was the second time? Okay, go. You got it? Now the point is, there's an old saying again, which I always like that for us. The strength is the goat running after the dog. So here's the dog I'm before. You want trouble, if it's too far away, rush down and after and waste my energy. So if you want to really trouble, come time to get it. Get to this place you want to say, okay? So please don't go after trouble. So if he's so fast he runs away from my punches, so he's in trouble, then okay, so well, I cannot reach or I cannot reach my energy. Okay. Then I go back. From this, I go back. Okay, this is the moment we're going to apply the magnetic zone for, which I will come in a moment. Back to it. But you understand the metaphor a little bit? So try again, but intentionally I really want you to catch it. So he's trying to run away. Okay, the first step, so if I can catch you, I run away. I still can't catch you, you gotta be better. You have to retreat faster. Okay? Wow. Okay? But you understand basically what it means, eh? Okay? It comes back. Okay, this is the moment when we apply the WT magnetic zone field theory, okay? Or concept, whatever you call it. Now, what is the longest method? Yeah, probably the most stretched. Okay? And of course, unarmed, so cycling is the most normal. Okay, you can reach most far. Who's the last taker? You, right? Come on now, do it. Come in. You're up here, not for the camera. Maybe discovering that. Okay, this means, can you touch me with your sidekick? This would be my position. If you touch me with your sidekick, let's just touch me. And now, you see? No matter what he does, he at least needs to step there to reach me. Now your magnetic zone field, can I have it out? Okay. Let's say one line with this towel, can you stay on that line and pick me again from that? So this is there. Okay. So if he's out there, outside, don't step onto that line. Don't step on this line. Can you keep me just a further away? Step close enough or not? I see I'm very safe. That would be flexible. I see? I'm very safe here. So if he steps on the line, then I'm in trouble. That's the moment he can hit me. So as long as he jumps and does these things, I don't want to waste my energy. Okay? First. Second is now, I also don't want the WT man becomes like a dummy, like a wax figure, a station. Okay, so you're a little active here. First. The second is, now you will apply the opponent's own tactic back on him. So what he's trying to do, he's trying to fake you, right? And to trap you into some kind of movement, distract you, and what do you call this? Fencing? Faking you, okay? Faking to make a fake on you or something like that, right? Good. Now, so when he's doing his things, no matter what he does, he needs at least to step onto that line to reach you with his longest left. If he wants to punch you, he needs to step further in. So whatever he does, as soon as he steps in, okay, whatever, huh? I can attack him. So again, okay, go, hit, boom, boom, I go. Now I'm safe. But now you jump a second. But I'm still safe. That's it. Okay, again. Now, whatever that, as soon as it steps into that line, this is, and that's it. There's no time to keep it. So whatever it does, this first step is a preparation step. Okay, he needs to step in, he needs to do this, close enough to hit me, with this to go in. Or he needs to step this way, onto the line to do this. Whatever step he uses, he needs to be in that frame, in that zone to touch me. Now, while he's trying to do these things and he's dancing around, I'm like this. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, you're attacking over this stuff. Let him dance, and then like, once in the dance, you go over to this. Who's talking to me? You're trying to trick me out, that's the move. You try to trick me out. Try to connect with me like you really want to. Okay? Right here. You are. You're a competition for acting here. Okay, you want the drama actor, right? Character. Again, he's trying to trick me because closer than I'm here, I go. So I go right after. Now, you can do the normal step, depends on how fast you can reach it, or you go, passing step in that second. You can scream, you distract him, so you surprise him, okay? So while he's trying to put his plan onto you, you surprise him with his own plan. Okay? Now don't play with this. And another thing is, he's not really attacking with this exercise, he's just stepping in and preparing. And I want to see how fast you can either surprise attack him, or when he comes in, how fast you can destroy his preparation. Okay? So there are two different things going on. One uses tactics to surprise him before he even thinks to get there, and the second if he's really attacking you, how fast is your response? So stop in the middle. Alright? Let's go. You students, realistically and close as possible against the real attack. What type of attack you care. But you have to execute the attack at least realistically or technically realistic enough. The hack is the technique, sorry. The technique is being executed more professionally. So this program is designed to defend against people that know how to kick and punch you. Right? The first fight program. Okay, so now when you go for a hook, like a boxing hook, so the boxers are doing this to you. You go boom! Now he uses upper body to work in his hook in, so that he doesn't swing with his arm. Or street fighter, he swings with his arm. Okay? And it's more like this. But the professional practice like boom. Okay, so it's not bad that you have a little knowledge. Look, I only learned 2 styles. The Wing Chun, teaching system, and of course Escrima. This is what I learned in the last 21 years. But I study the other arts so I can apply Wing Chun or Escrima, okay, it depends on weapon or anything or whatever. I can apply against those attacks. And the more professional my partner can attack you, my opponent, pretends to be my opponent, more the system is being challenged. More the style I'm studying is being challenged. Okay? So therefore we can really apply our concept, our scientific knowledge, which we bring shown us in based on. You understand now? So you don't have time to learn all this stuff on lifetime. Like so many people claim they have a black belt here, black belt there, a rank there, or a good time there, I'm sorry. You are good time. But there's so many people, they always claim how many ranks they have. I don't. The only 2 ranks I have is in Chun and Escirma. This I learned for over 10 years. But I study other arts. Grappling, Thai boxing, karate, jiu-jitsu. So I know how they apply their techniques professionally. So for the next part, you should be able to execute like jab, with movement, jab and a straight, boom combination, jab and hook, jab and uppercut, and then you try to combine them. So the most thing is going to be 1, the second, hook, okay, this. And then when you do kickboxing, of course you have this type of back fist, straight back fist, which we already have in the 3rd program a lot. So now you can combine them. So, but first of all, what I do is I separate the attacks, hand attacks, in 3 angles. So we do scientific, we don't pick on hooks and back fists or whatever, we pick on angle. Now we have a circular attack, which is this, because this goes around your arm. I can go around you to hit you. And then we have straight attacks, straight punch, and then we have a diagonal. The back fist, I cannot go around your fist because I cannot, unless you triple, double jointed, right? And that becomes a hook anyway. This is the diagonal, right? The circular and straight. So this is pretty much, this is a circular, just the upside down, and then the vertical circle and the horizontal circle. So it's still a circle. So this is the 3 angles we're dealing with. So first, you have to learn to apply this with the hand. And then we're going to make the same with the kicks. So if you have like a snap kick or like a side kick, straight kicks, then you have the round kicks towards your head. And the diagonals are like the X or hammer or sickle kick, whatever you call them in the diagonal. So they are the diagonal like a back fist. You see? Move the same kick if I lift up here. Look. The difference if I do this is the same like this. So, therefore, you can see that we shouldn't really think scientifically, no mathematics. Okay? Now we can apply our theory to this. Alright? So the rest is just really hard work. Now, what we're going to do is, first, let's do the jab. The big jab. The jab is, give me a jab. Okay, that's good. So because jab doesn't save. Lots of people do this with their arm. Jab. Okay? Now when I'm here, and I want to let you jabs me, so you see, you cannot touch me because of my hand. You need to pass his hand. That moment, he jabs and pulls back. His jab is pulling in. Slowly. And he moves back, and I'm like a magnet. I go in, follow the jab, so I try to avoid this one. Because I'm already in a foot, I follow the cheap punches. If you just move, there's no time for number 2. Because I'm on the space already, I'm in there. Move, okay? You get it? So this is an exercise we're going to train a little bit. So your reflexes are too late. If you're not surprised, then he's boom, he's launching, and boom, and like a magnet. So when it's here, boom, and goes back, boom. Even though he comes with this, you have already protected. Okay? So we're going to start with this now for quick, and then I'm going to the circular punches, okay? So you this straight, and he pulls back, and he wants to come to the combi, right? He wants to maybe take you, open up you, and boom, alright? So either he's in your movement, and boom, giving his punches to this, so this saves you already, okay? Or if it's outdoor, this goes back, that's the movement. Same thing, so it really doesn't matter. And anyway, if he pushes all the way comes here, like I still within here, and he moves back, so it really doesn't matter which hand is touching, okay? You always go with them. And faster, and the more you pressure, less you can do this combination. It's the whole basic idea. If you're in the straight and you keep punching, you know, the visibility is gone and you get hurt, you get happy, and you cannot do the combination. Okay? So this is the main thing if you can do that. Anyway, so now, anyone so far questions to this?
This is really what to me it seems like we're really not handling this really doesn't matter to the process. The locking system is not a system that's 24 steps. So if all enter that doesn't do it, try to get a locking down, but you still have to step up, you know. So as long as we be into the process step anymore, that's pretty much
So there's no question to analyze it. Good. Exactly, right. Then you don't give them the chance to attack you, okay? So whatever it needs, we need to come at you. And this is the problem with the most other arts, so there's the going and the trying, and then at that moment, look, the 2 parts you warn them. One is if you really attack them very fast, look. While you attack, you cannot change direction. So this means the contact, while you attack, is when you're going to be vulnerable against the contact. Because once you're in the air, and you make a decision to execute your attack, no matter what. Now, the guy is very good, and so they teach you to be, to punch him, that's the other way to do it. So there's no chance, because the way they attack, because they attack with leaning forward. But I must change the direction anyway. And another one is this. You're off balance. Right? If I push you, you're off balance because you have no sense for balance, or Wing Chun, Wing Chun have a total different understanding of balance than do. You know, other people think this is the balance thing, like here, or like being, you know, like on one leg and keep your balance like an acrobatic thing. Because our balance is flexibility. Okay, so this is what we understand of balance. And once you're off balance, you're vulnerable. Or while you attack, so either one way or the other way, people can counter-attack you. And this is what we know. That's what we are applying in both ways. While he's attacking me, I can counter-attack him, but I can change my direction, not anymore. And if it's off balance, if you pressure, is what I will do. To be dancing around, I bring more balance, you see? And I can go after. Okay? So you can apply really both of these theories to this guy. Okay? Now, let's go to the circular. So the most difficulties people have is with swings or hugs. Okay? Now, very simple thing. So these techniques are very fast and they're powerful, of course. If you can hit me like this, lots of power because it's upper body weight and rotation behind the punch. Single punch, if you miss it, he's open. But then if somebody knows how to do it, then they can quickly come up with a second movement, okay? Maybe if you can come up with something like this, right? You don't want to give them a chance, but however, so I have no, or the way we teach in my teaching system, it's not like, oh, if it comes this way, we do this, if it comes to the other side, and I do this. You have to be able to do the same movement against left or right side, because you don't know and you cannot decide for him how to attack you with that circular punch. Now, if it comes here, as you guys know, boom, 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 boom. You make the sliding step or outcrawling step, whatever it's called. If you have the chance to come like this movement right after this, so sort of the sidekick, do the sliding, and you get this step, and just this step. That's what I'm using. Now, However, if it gives me this way, I go bam, 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 bam. Okay, so maybe one more time from here. So if it gives me the shape of a so I step basically, all I'm doing is, when it goes here, I'm trying to target here. See now, when he moves in, I'm going to circle this. Okay, so I'm not anymore there. But at the same time, while he's doing this is what I'm going to disturb my attack. My partner is going to stop it. Not my hand. Don't try to block it. You don't have to block it, or like posing with a fan or coax or whatever people do. Look, wake up. This is going to knock him off. Alright, so you attack with this hand. Could be a chanza, could be a coaxer, but in the action, you have no time to pose it. Early on, I explained to you yesterday in the park, so when you do movements, you have no time in the real fight. I stop the time, the punch will come. Okay, I can do this. Now I stop the film, I can do this. But then if it comes, I won't stop the film like this. But for that moment, I could have a thumbs out or pictures or whatever. But the movement, except when you move, you have a thumbs up, or the position. Alright? But in real, it's too fast, you don't have time to pose. Okay? And then what this happens is really not again because you have no contact here. This happens if you're in contact with the guy, he pushes, now you could have a thumbs up. Because he causing that movement. But then if it's a free attack, this will be a block. And we don't have blocks. No? Lots of WC people or other people not wanting to hands on block, arms on block, we don't have it. These are movements is created by the force of your opponent. But if it's a circular punch and you have no contact, how can you create this? So this means you can circle as my waist free, I did it. And I just keep my center line. If you go around, see? If I just rotate on my stand, and now, of course, I want to crash into it. We move, then I can crash into the moves, right? I just go towards him. Okay, so now you can, of course, put me in a trap. You can pretend to get something. Yeah? I'm going to say all of a sudden, oh, this is like boom. You just like this and it becomes the other side. What now? So should I show you another movement? The problem is not going to work because you don't have the time to change your concept while you're already on the way. The guy faked you and you're already here. Now you go, oh, that's up. Wait, my hook. Okay, I have to check the number of 100 tools. Okay, stop. Okay, I can do this. You don't have the time, so this means this step has to work left or right side. So you have no other choice. Now, since we punch, if you know the jump in the last part, you punch here, you punch underneath, and then three times on top. So, if you look at the branch of a tree, like a fork, now watch, if it comes like this, I'm just showing you very easy, of course. So if I do this, and that's good. This way, and if you push this in, this cuts on that step, and I go behind. So I'm saying, of course, it's not the way we apply, but if you give me a look from this side, I do this one. Boom, that fork view. Remember the guy with the spoon? Why the spoon? It hurts more. No, I knew you tried by forking. You see now, look, if we push this in, this one pushes forward to cut the direction and deflect this forward. Basically the same theory with these things, remember? Cutting this, happening this. Now, if you face me, punches me. Okay? And since we have our head always behind, even hits me with this side. See? I'm almost straight. I'm not hitting back, but I'm straight. Now if you face me, comes with this. Okay? So slow motion again. No matter, you can always do this. Look. Boom, boom. With the pass through and I'm moving. I still do the same step. The only difference is this. Okay, give me this one. Give me this one. This step. I'm always behind the first. Okay, one time outdoor. And you can see the other hand, I will be indoor. But I always use the same step. Okay? So try this out. Okay? And I think I can do the next exercise also in a circle. Huh? Now, uppercut is a lifting punch. A lot of people use their arms. This is not an uppercut. Look, a good boxer or whatever, they use their uppercut, they go down, they use their body weight to bring it up. So it's not this. Okay, I can hit it like this, it's still painful, but it's not that. But if I do this, I leave my arm this way, go, which is now, I lift my arm, look, just a little bit. So My legs are bringing, that's why it's called the lifting punch. Okay, and then you can practice it. Okay? So then you bring it from the legs. So you can hit like this, but not that much power. So I want you to understand also how they execute the movement, where the power comes from. So you don't underestimate the attack. Okay? We don't want to teach you and say, oh well, we have a solution for everything and you can do this and that and that, and maybe if you like you can do this way, and then whatever. And the student asks you, oh, well, see, can I do that? Of course, if you may please, so you can also do your way. You don't want to do this. You know they are dangerous. And you know if you get this in your ribs, you're down there and then snapping for air. You know if you do this, your head will be broken and you black out, and then you don't know what's going to happen to you after, right? So this was very important that you understand that these punches, if they hit you, they're powerful. But still, we can defeat them without using force against them. So if he gives me a lifting punch here, I can don't push. Sit my hands over me again. Or if I turn the wrong way guns, if he does it again. Slow motion. Hit me. Or you can do this one. Oh, yeah, I'm not the time. You don't want to try to kiss me, try to hit me, okay? Do this. It's the same attack. I can do this way, and then we have one more thing. If you miss the guy and your punch goes and comes this way, just stopping me. You're stopping me, but you hit it. Okay, so you protect the team, but you can hit them still. And then continue with the chain punch. So no matter what he does, you give me the lifting punch. You don't give him the chance for this, okay? Or again. Let him pass. Or you stop them. Alright? So, and the same thing with the circle. First you separate them so you can really slowly work in the single movement, and then we're going to combine it. Later you're going to really good punch and block on it, okay? And later you're going to try everything. And you try to avoid any of this attacks, okay? Good luck. How fast you are. My timing is off. I think the fastest flow is the man in the world that we're always going to the wrong timing at the wrong moment, right? So, however, I explained to you already when the guy kicks me and he's too far away, he cannot touch me. So it's the same thing here. If he comes to me, that happens, but his touch is too far away. So don't run into that guy. And that's why this is a very individual thing. Is everything is visual. So if the student does not cheese out, yeah, if you have no contact, even though he knows cheese out, you have no contact with the person to say, hey. So look, cheese out, it only makes you more flexible. Cheese out is a tool, a method to make your arms flexible, your whole body flexible, right? And then also to make you flexible in the sense that you can go with the force, not against the force. So when you come back, I can take him over, but first you need the contact. And again, if he's there, look, the whole time for the attack, this speed is not coming. Now I'm a little faster than a normal person, but still you need to step and do this. It's already fast enough. Okay, and then the power bind. Now, this is up to you now. So if you don't want to, so if he gives me is too far away, I will go, let it pass and go after his attack. And even if he misses me, he's still good balance, a good boxer, good punch straight to the next one. So if he misses me, I go, I have to do that. I'll be right there, okay? Of course, it's an experiment. You don't need, but since you have to learn it, I want you, we push you into that you have to do. So you're really going for target. And you learn to apply your step. You cover the distance, you timing, you power, you balance, okay? And then he's faking you, you can take him down. Whoa. You still do the same thing. Once you know how, then you can train another way. Now you can say, okay, if you hit me and he's too far away, wait, I go after his punch. Or go into his punch. So then it pass. Okay, of course, right? There are all these things, right? So the same, of course, is with uppercut. For uppercut, it needs to be very, very close to you. And even for professional box, it needs to be approximately almost a little bit more distance than an uppercut, but almost the same. Now, a street fight or whatever, like a bully swing, it's a very long, it's called the boom. So the distance is long. This is probably untypical, it's very open, it's very unprotected itself while you're attacking, but this comes surprisingly very, very brutal strike on you. Okay? So if you can just surprise, you know, lots of people, if you're a nightclub, people are, hey! Something like this. Right? I push you and come with it from here. Right? It's the same thing. What is the push? Make you up to my front and you're attacking. Or a boom, stupid jack. So I don't want to let him go here. Yeah? But if you surprise you and you were sleepy, and you didn't listen to him, you didn't practice hard enough. So you're going to be the guy with the head on the ground. So the thing about it is, it's all hard work. Wing Chun works. Marking system is the most sophisticated, efficient, self-defense system in the world for the average person. Okay? So everybody can do the marking system. The size doesn't matter, age doesn't matter. But the one thing is clear is hard work. If you don't train how to do this, how to deal with these issues, you know, what do you get? Right? The system is perfect, but we're humans. And humans make mistakes. Most mistakes come because they are over or underestimate themselves. And you only be really good about yourself is the input you put into your training. Right? We train all our life. If you're here for self-protection, to gain that second of your life, you're going to be in trouble. That second in your life, you're going to be in trouble. That second, you won't survive. But if you were lazy and you think like, oh well, I can do this, because you're a collector, you're like a fishing man, fishing from one seminar, another seminar, collect your movement, but you never really work on them, you never really understand, there's no concept behind, just movements, collecting, combination, this. You know, people teach you against the one single punch. Like 1, 2, whatever, hundreds of movements. And if you can do this, you can single punch, boom! I do attack and defense going down. All the time. Okay? So why should I do all the other stuff? Because you don't have the time. Because it's very fast. Okay? Good. Now, I go take this ability to the next step. Now, of course you can give me a back fist. You can do it this way. This is triangular, you know, like this. You can go right hand. It becomes again, try this hand, and do this. And you can give you a spinning back. You can like a kickboxer jump up with you like this. Just shooting down. Okay? Now, try this a little bit. With them, you can be spinning back this, straight back this, like a kickboxer jump up, back this, whatever, okay? And then you try to mix it. Now we just cut. He's going to like jab you first and then you go like this. Okay? So you can use all this tool. Your whole body, whatever tool you use. I mean, see? So I try exactly what I was teaching. Remember all the stuff, we're not standing like a dummy now. And you know the guy who doesn't know this video, I'm wrong. So don't play like a dummy. Now if you said the good punching, it's not like this. Now see? I can already rock it. So you do this now. But if you have the wrong timing, you drop your hand because you start like this, you get there. Thank you very much. Okay? Good luck. That's it. Now you can jump back and do the counter. If you give me too much time, I can whack you right there. Okay? And you can feel like I'm too fast. That's the problem, I think. Let them in the kicks is dangerous. So don't waste energy if you feel you can't reach me, go back and wait. Okay? Okay? Again? Again. I got you, right? Now careful again. Now, even if you do this, now you have to go back. So you make the mistake, you start to punch too early. So you need like 3 steps to teach we do like from here to there. So of course, hey, the punch is not stupid. But if you make your opponent, if you make the guy look stupid against you trying to work, then you make yourself stupid. Try to make your attacker, your opponent, a little smarter so you have a challenge that will make you skill better. Okay, lots of other arts that teach the guy like, give me a knife like this. Ha! Ha! I'm so sorry. There's no one will attack you like that. Okay, people have another way. Like this. You got it? So keep your opponent smart, so which makes you smart. Keep your opponent stupid, makes you stupid. Because you make there's no challenge. Or give me just like a swing like this. Hey! Boom, 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 boom. Fine. But you go out there, things look different. So that's why now when you jump back, careful when you chase it. The danger is right there. Because this is what they do, this is what they do in brain, this is what they learn. You're chasing like a hey, they know these things, so that's why the timing has to be right. And you have to really be able to crush it. If you can't reach it, just go back and keep on. Play the phone, then you get it off. Remember? Okay, try it again. When you jump back on the chain punches, you crush it immediately, or if you cannot reach, you go back, and then now I'm trying to get you. Now I can use all my hand techniques. Jabs, hooks, uppercuts, okay? Combined and track it. Maybe I do this. Now look, I'm in your zone, you hit me. Maybe I jump back and then you watch. Okay, so have fun. One more time. But punch, second punch a little bit more. Yes, let's go. Very quick. The kicks. Yeah? So the boxers now become a kick type boxer or whatever, right? So once you then through all the four programs, you mix the first all the way up to the fourth. So the guy can trap you, the guy can do low kicks, all the simple basic first program stuff. And of course these combinations, okay? So you try to prevent them from doing that. Okay, now, same as I mentioned earlier, the kicks were split in three parts, and I give you 3 ways to solve it, okay? The best way is the first one, just is a step. If you can step fast enough and crush him before you can use his attack on you, his kicks, or even his punches later, okay? So, now, look. Again, it's all about the right distance now. You jump back on the chin punches up there now. But before I go back to, so let's say it's differentiate again in circular, diagonal, and straight kicks. So straight kicks basically could be a side kick. So if it gives me a side kick, or then maybe jump in and give me a side kick like a right guy. Just with my step I can do the same thing in the side kick. And with a kick. See, I just send them past. Hit him, alright? So it's the first choice. Okay. So I can just crash him from the side. See? All what I do is this to do. Okay, just stay there. Just stay there. Okay, very simple, huh? Now, if I'm a little bit late, he kicks me, I can use my head. Get to the ground, huh? You can kick the little cut. And then jump to remember this movement? It's not about something. It's a go. No? It's an indoor bomb job. Also is something a little different, which is more like this, okay? So when it comes to this movement. Okay? The last part is the focus use. Kick his somebody turns his hand to you, you kick his hand. It's vacant, alright? Now, so this second, it could be, of course, a snap kick up above your belt. You know, like somebody take one kick under your chin. So if he kicks me up here, okay, again, I can do stop kick. Remember the first program? But now if he kicks higher, you see, he's not down there, he can kick you up all the way up here to your solar plexus, whatever, right? Now, again, he does my step. First choice, best choice, or Rezervasyon come, langsam, langsam, sorry, langsam, right, okay? So in or out, I think again, look, punch, okay? I can go in and do this. The last choice, always again, it kicks me, you can move. You can move in, okay? Now, the second straight. If it gives me a diagonal kick, could be like your X kick. If you're on the box, this is what they try to do. Over here, you tempo, your collarbone, kick here, okay? So since we stay like this with that, look. Just move it. You cannot pass this, but if I do this, you can pass. Give me. I'm in, right? So, what you do this, of course again, will just crush it. So second, you take if you go on top, move in, okay? So this is your hand movements. So if you're a little too late. But if you're way too late, the kick is always because you're lazy on your foot, people, if you cannot step, that's why you're doing the kick. But I was too late to start. You get the kick. Kick is it. Now you do my face. You just kick his joint, say. Alright? So the last one is circular. So circle will be a spinning round stick, spinning back, that's it. So same thing, without this you can here, move into the hand technique, or they can push it with this, step in, right, they crush it. And the last one, as I said, if it turns his arms, we kick his ass. Alright, very simple, right? But this is because, again, this kick is because you're too late. And after you kick, you still have to do it and don't let him recover. Maybe you did not have hurt him and he's ready and recovers and quickly in less than a second and he's ready to attack you again. You don't want to give that chance to your opponent. Okay? Now, or you can give a round toss. Again, I'm here. He does a round toss, just crush it. Okay? Or you come to late, of course. You can do this and throw him away, I don't hurt him. Or he comes, kick him, keep moving. Okay? So these are pretty much the kicks. I'd like you to work with this now, separate them single, okay, and then when you throw everything, you feel a little confident, then you can mix up the entire 4 programs. And then you go into program 5, which is distance 3, knee and elbows, okay? Different kicks. Spinning back kick and the upper back. It does everything. Here's the thing, you do round toss, low kicks, the straight kicks. First program, you're trapping hands. You can try whatever you want to try. So once you've been through all this stuff, and you really exercise step by step each, you have an understanding, you can apply it. Now when we do it free, he's trying and you don't want to get hold, you don't want to get kicked. You're trying to prevent everything right on the beginning of the root, before the plant can grow, you chop it off, okay? So, you know that's the idea, right? The bad plant. So you try to chop it off before it's messing up the ground. Okay, so when we do it, there's anything else. Move whatever you grab. So it's not so nice, but fighting not nice. But now, if whatever he does, I crush him all the time. Okay, so when the tries to go boom, boom, don't give him a chance for, okay? So I'm going to go to program 5. Some of you people are not ready for that. 1 and 2 student levels. Okay, I think it's quite a lot. Who is only doing first and second today? It's not difficult, right? I actually like you to practice with 500. Okay, listen to this, but I don't want you guys to do this now. Alright? Because it's too much. Okay, so I'm happy if you repeat to read the whole thing. Okay? So, now. Okay, I just show you what we're going to do. Of course, we're going to start to go for the chain punches later on, okay? Just give you shoulder to shoulder, like hold like this. Now, you're not going to push around. So if you give me like a circle of knee here, I want you to give me a Charlie horse inside and go wham. If you give me a circle of the same knee over here, the same knee, like this, into my ribs, out, you see? Without this, boom, boom. Okay, so you Charlie horse. It's almost like a bomb and jumper, but you attack his leg, and then you go to his torso for now. Later he bends down, of course. In class, but please don't go to your face, so we don't have accidents. So, I'm using the same leg. If you come this way, pam, pam. If you come the other way, pam, pam. Okay? So, if you come to the same, the other leg over here, pam, pam. And then diagonal, so you have both sides, you see? Diagonal and parallel. Simple as that, okay? Now if it comes to this straight knee like this, okay? Same thing, okay, just come from an angle, come, give me knee, okay? So you basically attack him and then give him there, right? Just start with this, let's go. As well. We're not teaching you techniques and combinations. We're teaching you the concept, how to apply the mentioned concept. Okay? So, if you look, it's not really combination. Once we taught you how to defend certain attacks, we're mixing it up, so you don't know what's going to happen. What we teach you is to understand the concept. Once you understand, you can always use your limbs to attack anytime, to defend yourself anytime. So you're not relying on, oh, he's doing this punch, now I can only block it like this and block it like this, or deflect it like this, or you don't care anymore about it. You know what to do. You just couldn't hit the guy. But you have to deal with the main issue. This is balance, power, all the stuff you're doing with your punches. If you have no power behind your punch, how can you knock the guy out to defend yourself? You cannot hurt the guy back. Take him out. You will always keep attacking him. So you need powerful punches, you need aggressiveness, and this all has to also the balance. If you punch and then you go like all over the place, how can you hurt? How can you fight each other, right? But it's all has to do with the concept, the principles we be using our lips according to the time, right? So we're not teaching you like, oh, you give me a punch number B and I have to do a block number C. So this would be like everybody else, so we don't do that. And this is why Chun and Escrima are unique. They're totally different, separated, and long-standing arts. They're very effective each of them. One in veterinary, one here, end-to-end, right? Again, so they have the same ideas, concept. We work with concept, not with techniques. But the other people do that. Then do techniques, okay? So very important that you understand. That's what we're teaching people. So once they go into the trap, oh, this combination, listen. If you train us combination, what's going to happen? The person out there not going to be that combination. But if you train, you teach yourself and your students, be reminded that things everything is open. So you don't have combination because it's not going to happen. So this is now you have to apply something always works. It's that concept. That's what we're doing. Right? So you're doing like, oh, we can do number elbows, so now I have to do this to this. We show you how to move your limbs, we show you how to do it, but then you can do it all the time, no matter what the guy does. So you're not relying on the attack. You understand what I'm saying? You don't rely on his attack anymore, you just go. No matter what comes between, you can deal with it, okay? Good. Now, down here. Come over. I know last 2 days I watched the turn of the head. I'm serious, I did. I got more serious. Taylor. Okay, now this is just the way you exercise. Of course, later from the chain punches, and also you as instructor can always go back and teach the same exercise classes. Let's say if you give me a round just for shooting level, things like this. I think just was very close to Charlie Horse. Boom, 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 we can do this. And now we can do this with the Chun person. I can do like this, maybe I go and grab you and go like, with the knee, right? Maybe I'm here, you grab it with the knee. This kind of thing, okay, you can also sit. Some of you will try to grab my hands. If I'm here, you get to sit on the root. You want to do this thing, okay? So it's like, I think here, maybe now I can use this one. Okay, why not? You can do all this crossing. Knees too, okay? More he does it again. So, okay, you can do these things too, but now let's start with certain things. So, if I'm using Chun, then the guys like this, and either he's very tall, like mine is Jordan, or maybe somebody does this, jumps up, huh? Goes up and gives you an elbow from top, or maybe he wants to do this and jumps up. You do this. But if I'm giving you to do, you jump up and give me an elbow. Yeah, something like this, why not? Okay? I just hold this up or something like this. Now look. You step in, remember? Chun. So here I apply lots of Chun stuff, okay? Then slowly over, you come and give me an elbow to my temple. Because I know these grips. But the first I have yeah? So you can also exercise just like this. Single, go together, okay? So when you come to the elbow, I mean, okay. There's no more then it's possible quick. Okay? You start with this first. Alright, let's go and I'll show you a couple more. That's why I have to use this part. And now, don't get that concrete. Okay, now, so when he gives me, let's say we're very close here, boom, he grabbed me and shot up to do this, thanks, okay, all of a sudden goes, okay? So we hear maybe that close thing after chain punch, that doing this, chain punch, boom, that guy like this, huh? Maybe he wants to something like that, whatever, okay? So we here, so it becomes this elbow in go and up here, see? So when this happens, look, then it has, just push back, do the same thing again. That's what you do a little bit of the circular. This doesn't pass. I think if you're here already, you use your foot. So it doesn't pass with your butt. Help me over there. You can use these kind of things, okay? Very simple, huh? Or you can do this one, alright? So I'll give you this choice. And then also, the other ones, maybe I'm here and you come to the circular elbow. And I'm already here. So my packs are moving around like this. Okay? Very simple, right? That's chunk here. I'm here, you can circle. That's what we do more close, you choose it. Each time you can do this, you can come here. Right? So this is the movement and chunk. Remember this movement? This combined with this. Right? So, very simple. You have this kind of elbow, you have the circular elbow, and you can also do it like a back this type of elbow. This type of elbow, okay? With the time you grab the other side, I can do this, huh? From here, and you grab. Is anything right? Okay? So another choice here. And really just take one of this. Your hands are here, you can stop and undo it. You know, you have no contact, it's of course difficult, right? So, and whatever it does, look, his elbows don't touch that long. He needs to be close to you. So I always try to keep him away, but sometimes you know, grab your wrist and then all of a sudden you move this. Okay? Now I also want in this, or whatever, the guy grabs your elbow, this is like karate elbow, very traditional. This kind of elbow, right? This is stupid. Maybe sometimes I'm here, the guy goes, this kind of elbow, people really funny, right? So when I'm here, they give me the karate type elbow, okay? And what I do is he rotates, and then you do like this, right? This kind of elbow. Like the movie just action. You have this. You just see it. You use elbow in this back, okay? Let's go. Try out, look at everything. Well, this is pretty much the whole fifth program, okay? Now I want you to mix knee, elbow together, alright? So, elbow against this, elbow against this, elbow against this, elbow against this, right? Boom, elbow against like, very simple. Whatever elbow karate uses, then you go, this type of thing, right? Or like time offset, this type of thing. Boom, here come, okay? These things are using. Basically, this is what you're defending against. Very simple. So if he gives me a next step and teaches, if he gives me an elbow up here, look at the pass, bring him down, boom. He gives me an elbow from the side, I go like, boom, pressure. Like you can have your hand here, okay? But if you give me an elbow really like this, maybe I can stop him here, give him the boom, boom, okay? Or chunk here, everything comes from chunk here. Simple as that, okay? If he gives me a spinning back elbow, boom, boom, okay, just going quick. But as long as I also, even if my elbow returns, I'm going to pack my center back, boom, if you give me the elbow here, so I can go boom, okay? Boom. Painful too, right? Oh, I guess this guy works with this kind of, I think this kind of, no, this one. Oh, yeah, you see there's a lot of people do this. So if you do that thing, look at it. This elbow, you can't look, I just, it's more than you want, just keep your front elbow. Pulling down and doing, okay? Tucks, a lot of things I use in that moment. My tucks over then, or like, back movement and go, Alright? Simple as that. Okay? So, again, you are doing the counter elbow against. Boom. 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 Boom or boom. Okay? So that's it. So these are the things people use. So we don't want to bring Chun against Wing Chun. Okay, the future form is higher level. It's not the student program anyway. And this is what we're going to be confronted. Now you say, what? Then you're twisting, right? So what's wrong? Boom, what's going to happen outside? Oh, sorry, crack. Oh, really? These are things people want to use. Somebody knows a little bit of karate, Thai boxing, how to attack. Okay? Have fun, hurt each other. I'll show you how the other guy can attack you, what type of elbows, right? Now I want you also to be able to use your elbows too. Now you can, if he doesn't move, just careful, of course. You just go in the guy, go, correct, you can do the same thing. So just a minute, give me the elbow. No slow motion, look. You give me this elbow, I can't stop in this way. You give me the elbow, whack. Okay, go up this way, basically. Boom, back down. Okay, or you give me the elbow super, and then go, whack. We can use this elbow, you can use this elbow, you can use this elbow. So just be flexible, okay? Now once he gives me one attack. Of course, don't need to do that. Okay? Or give me this elbow. Okay? Hopefully a lighter, right? So very dangerous stuff. But when you do this, and then you go back, everything goes. So please, careful. Dangerous stuff, you probably just need to move a little bit too much in and then do your next thing, okay? So when you do chin punches, after you're done with the elbows, and mix, everything goes. Now, one very important thing I want you to know. If you have seen my video of the Eğitim Concepts, I'm talking about the 5 distances. And this is basically a little bit more individual for each program, each distance I'm dealing in this one, right? So now, I want you to understand that a real fight does not go distance 1, distance 2, distance are jumping. Then maybe we start trouble here, what's wrong with you, right? So it starts mostly out of the second distance, is punch distance, right? What's wrong with you, right? So, now the guy can push you, and then open point is the first distance, out of the second, or the guy goes like, hey! Now you're running from the second into the fifth distance on the floor. Okay? So you cannot choose really where this is going to start or where it's going to start. So this program should bring you, because it deals separate with age, to bring you, and this is what I want you to understand, even though individual in each program will deal with the distance, but then also brings you to the understanding that distance can jump, because just the way a situation occurs or happens, you never know, you're not in charge where the fight's going to start. Guys are going to come and yell you from here, or it's going to be a very peaceful, oh really, try to trick you and go into the third distance. Okay? So whatever the situation is, because I cannot go in and talk for every situation. You don't know when trouble is going to come at you, and you have to be aware of it. But then, that's why once you understand about distance and you want to understand about being cautious about people, attitude and things like this, so you can go ahead. That's the moment you can prevent certain things. That's the moment you can keep a distance for you. You say, the guy's trouble, okay, come on. He already comes very close. We didn't talk to you and you have a very bad vibe. You know, I'm on the bar sitting at my Coca-Cola and milk, so I cannot say alcohol, right? You know what I mean? So you see him having a spring too, but I feel he's a little troublemaker. I could see him before, so I'm just pushing. So maybe he talks to me and says, he goes like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, okay, whatever. I could be in front of you all of a sudden, boom. So he's just a big guy. This is a ground or whatever, he wants to stick his elbow to your face. So you never know when this is going to happen. Everything's different. So I can always talk just in general sense. You understand? So there's nothing like, oh, this is the way I know what's going to happen. And in that case, I would make myself stupid and then you guys stupid. And we are not. We're very intelligent and we know what to do. That's why this is all individual. And this program should make you aware of the danger of those types of attacks and should prepare you for instinctive, not just physical. You know, everything you do here is all up here. So even there's nobody threatening you, but you can feel trouble, you can feel bad vibe of people, and you can already, psychologically inside, already get the distance. Before even the guy even talk to you. Maybe he's never going to talk to you, but you don't know. Maybe he's going to pass and get to somebody, you don't know what's going to happen, maybe he's just going trouble moving. Right? You don't know. So, but if you have it by the time already, you did go not apply the concept. You already go like mentally, you already go like this as a task. Because in idiot, you're a troublemaker. So it starts already there. Okay, but we treat all our life with this. But most people don't have this. Most people are relatively nice people. But polite, friendly, but then you have some people out of hand walking around very funny. And this is what I'm saying, so you can prevent the physical fight away by selecting out, because the vibe is coming at you. Say, oh, this guy's trouble. Already mentally, I already make a mental bones out. I already let him pass. Okay? Or a mental deflecting, because I know if I'm going to stay here, this guy's going to come and touch me somehow. And then I have to say, hey, look, watch out, and then he's going to maybe start trouble. So why should I? You know, lots of these things you see already up front that this is a problem zone here. And then why are you going to go and push it? Right? Only stupid people stay here, and I know this guy's trouble, so I'm going to wait for him to get past me, because I'd like to fight. But hey, it's not what we're teaching you. Remember, it's self-protection. We don't teach you killer instincts or street fighting. Okay? Like lots of people teach you in the tapes and stuff. I don't teach you this. I teach you to survive. I don't teach you to be a killer. I don't teach you to be a street fighter. You know what street fighter means? The word to go out and fight in the street.